Welcome to Prison Talk. 12/16, December 16. Welcome to Prison Talk. Now, we're going to wait till we get a couple of people in here, get this thing started. All right. But there's a whole lot that I've been looking into that's going on. And it's like time to address a lot of things because we have to let the people know what time it is, you know? What's up, Paradise? You know? But Friday night, we got grown folks talk Friday night. All right? Just so everybody know what time it is. Friday night, we got grown folks talk. Today, we're doing the prison talk. I'm just waiting on the people to come in. They coming in. Salute, family. You know what I mean? But I got a nice, interesting show for you tonight that's real informative and helpful that I think would help a lot of the brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? How to, help their family members, friends, loved ones, or even themselves. God forbid they wind up, faced against the penal system. Because that joint ain't no joke, man. That joint ain't no joke. All right, Devon Riley, I see you, baby. All the way from Norfolk. You know we in the house, But we here, and we're going to start the show. I'm going to bring up Jocelyn, and we're going to kick it real quick. Jocelyn's an ex-correction officer. We call him CO in the system. So, when I say CO, I'll be referring to her, because I wasn't into all that old correction officer and all that other crap. You know what I mean? So now we're going to go, and I'm sure Jocelyn going to tell you how she would have checked the old loud mouth, foul dude like me. You know what I mean? I'll tell her how I handled her. You know what I mean? And that's what this going to be about. We're going to keep it 100. All right? So we're going to bring old Jocelyn up here. I got Miss T down here that's going to break it down from a probation officer point of view. You know what I mean? They try to check me on a couple of things. You can't hear me down there? You know what I mean? Everybody can hear me? You know what I mean? All right. So everybody can hear me. So we're going to roll. So Jocelyn, how you doing? Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Jameson.
Okay. Where you from?
I'm formerly from Harlem, but reside in the Bronx at the moment.
Okay, so we on the joint and we talking about, she's an ex-correction officer. And,
yes, I am.
Lady K, what up? My thing is that I want you to understand, where was you at in the state?
Oh, I did a couple of jails. My training jail was Fishkill. Then one of my main jails was Mid-Orange. I came off of maternity leave. I had a baby. When I went back, I was Green Haven. My last jail was Bedford Hills. So I did both spectrums, male and female.
Okay, that's what's up. So which one went at you the most?
Both, to be honest with you.
Okay.
At the end of the day, see, here's the thing. What I was trying to say earlier is that I learned a lot working in the prison systems. And one of the things that I've learned is that you be yourself. You can't be anybody else. I'm from the hood, so the Harlem and all that never bothered me. And I never went back and forth with anybody because I understand at the end of the day that my people, they have issues. They had issues before they came in. They had family issues. They had other issues before they came in. And so I pretty much knew how to deal with them. So if you was having a bad day, I try to get to the bottom of it. If you kept disrespecting me, I just put the paper to the pen. I'm not arguing with nobody. Or the pen to the paper, I should say. It was never an argument. Listen, I'm trying to work with you, and this is how it's going to go. I want everybody to have a good day. I need to make it home. I don't want to do no extra time. I don't want to be mandated if I don't have to. Don't fight on my time. All that good stuff. But a lot of the times I ran into a lot of the young ones, and the young ones, I felt like they didn't have a lot of guidance. They had a lot of family issues. I would talk to them. I was knee deep in it with them. So I've had a lot of good times in there. And it wasn't the inmates that gave me the problem. It was more of the higher ups. They expect you. Yeah, like your captains, your
I understand what you mean,
sergeants. Because at some point they want you to treat them unjust, and I didn't have it in me to do that. Now, if you did something, I got that.
Okay. Well, I'm here to give both spectrums, even though it might sound a little wild. Come on, So I'm gonna give it to you 100. Yeah.
Let's go. Go ahead.
Now, beautiful young lady like yourself working in the prison. You know what I mean? As soon as you come in, they look at you as me. Not just the inmates,
right?
Because they don't have a life. They can't get nobody out there. That's why they come into prison. They try and treat us like crap, right? Because they don't have a life. So you already know how it is. They go home. I would tell the CEOs this and it piss them off. I tell them, I already know when you go home, you know what I mean? The cat shit on your leg, you know what I mean? The kid throw up on your shirt, you know what I mean? The wife ain't giving you none. And you know,
Right.
son is in the living room with his homie smoking weed, you know what I mean? And you got no respect in your house. So now you come in here and you trying to run my house. You know what I mean?
A lot of the times, I'm not gonna hold you. You'll see CEOs bring their personal problems in,
Mm-hmm.
and what it will do is cause ruckus with the other people, the inmates or whatever. Everything will be fine, but once because you're having a bad day because your husband cheated on you or your wife did something or today just wasn't a good day. It didn't have to be that. It could have been your kids. Because at the end of the day, as a CEO, you still have your own problems. You have your own family. A lot of things go on, but you have to learn how to separate your life from that life because it's a jungle and it's two different lives.
Tell him, sis. I like when you talk that talk.
It's two different lives. So you have to leave your problems on the outside of those prison walls. Walk in there with that game face, take off those little girl panties and put on your thongs or something and get up in there and do what you're supposed to do. Put on your grown folks panties and get up there and do what you got to do. But like I said, it's not so much to treat them unjust. They're already in there serving time. They're already in there for whatever they're doing. That has nothing to do with you. As long as you can maintain your house, as long as you have a respect for them, they'll show you respect. They'll show you respect. You don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to be nasty. I never had to be that way. Because let me tell you something. Inmates see bullshit from afar, especially if they've been in there long. They sniff you. So if you're gonna be an asshole, you better be an asshole for the whole 25 years of your motherfucking career. Because if you don't, and you slip up,
try not to curse because YouTube have a fit with that.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you slip,
I got you.
Okay, if you slip up, and then you want to be nice one day and then an a-hole the next night, it doesn't work like that. So if you're a nice person, just be a nice person.
And you know, I'm glad you said that, right? Because one of the issues that we got in the prison is you got COs that, like I said, you know, they having trouble on the outside even functioning in society. You know what I mean? So they coming in, the only life they have is in there. I've had COs, you know, that I've pissed off. I'm talking about, I know I pissed them off. You know what I mean? But his shift ended. You know what I mean? So I tell my man trying to go home to your wife. You know, she can't suck you off right anyway. You're looking for a boy in the prison. You know, I say something I know is going to piss him off. You know what I mean? Look, and then the next day he come back to work. You know what I mean? And as soon as he come on, before he even put his bag down, he walked by my cell, ripped my door open just to let me know he ain't got to knock and he could do it. He'll stand there and he'll look at me. And I just sit there and I look at him. And I'd be like, man, I know you didn't bring that shit from last night in here. I told you she wasn't going to suck you off right. You know what I mean? Now you bringing your problems in here on me. Leave that joint out the door, man. That was yesterday.
Nah, but you also have a lot of people, because I know some, that you weren't tough in the streets. You wasn't like that. You put that blue uniform on and you become something different.
Thank you.
And so when them inmates knock you out, because I've seen it happen.
And that's what I mean by dude just ripped the door like he cut like that. And then he don't say nothing because he know he can't say nothing, but he just looks at me. So then, of course, I say something slick. But, you know, some days I just felt like messing with him just because I could.
Right.
Just to let them know where they at. But that's the only thing I didn't understand, how they could take a problem home and bring it back the next day. Whatever you did for that whole 18 hours, when you came back, you should have done came back as a whole new person and say, man, screw that.
But see, that also depends on the person. Some people hold on to things. Some people know how to let things go. Like, I looked at it like, this is my job. Like, when people make such a big deal out of it, I'm like, this is an 8-hour job. Just like you go to your other job and you may get an hour break. It's the same thing on the inside. It's just that you really have to be a people person and you really have to know how to deal with people, putting them in check without being nasty. Because like I said, I'll put you in check quick and I ain't got to say nothing really. I'm not doing it. That's it.
You know what? I'm gonna turn this up, man. I'm gonna turn this up.
Turn it up.
I'm gonna give them all angles of doing time in aspects that they probably never dreamed of. But I'm gonna bring Miss T up here. You know what I mean? As a counselor who come in. Miss T, you ready? I'm gonna bring you in. You ready, Miss T? Could you hear me? Oh, she can't hear me. Check with Miss T. Call Miss T. See what's up. She can't hear me because I want to bring her in. You know, Miss T. Unmute your mic. Your mic is mute. Now you go. Say something. Turn your mic up, sis.
Pressing it. Oh, I'm saying I can hear you, but when you start talking after a while, The static comes.
Okay. All right. Well, I ain't gonna talk that long now. I'm just gonna shoot my shot and back up. All right. Lower yourself a little bit so they can see you. There you go. All right. See that you ain't representing New York with your fitted. You know, we gonna put you on blast. You know what I mean? And you're supposed to be repping New York. But now, Miss T, you work. Tell them about who you are and where you have worked, so they know who you are.
Okay. I'm Miss T. Hello, everybody. I'm from the Bronx. I work for Department of Probation. I work with 16 to 24-year-olds. I'm in a high crime unit. I deal with everything from gangs, guns, scammers, grand larceny, you name it. And most of the time, what I see is that there's just no guidance. There's no guidance and there's lost hope, right? And then we can't blame them for the lost hope because, like we talked about before, the OGs is not the OGs anymore. The
Mhm.
OGs are turning their backs. Got a 9 to 5 now. They don't want no parts. Even a lot of them, when they come home, they be like, oh, I'm not with that shit no more. But what they were supposed to do is come home and help the community and help the young ones, not get a job. Now they never, you from the streets. Like, okay, if you went up top or whatever and they taught you to calm your ass down, then you bring that back, but it's different when somebody did 25 years versus the 5 years and the 10 years. So it's like a lot of the times when I'm sitting with parolees versus probationers, they don't understand. You're not going to prison. You're going to Rikers. You're not going to prison. So you go to jail for 6 months, 2 years, fight your case, and then you get on probation. So you never touched upstate, right? So right now, the jails is wild. But people think since I know my man's and them, they in there, I'm gonna be good. And then everybody's flipping. There's no more loyalty. There's none of that. Nobody's their own man. So the unfortunate part is that all their fathers was in jail, right? So they either their fathers were in jail or their fathers are dead. So now it's the blind leading the blind. So now it's all these gangs that's supposed to be blood that don't know nothing about nothing, forming in their own little clique. So it's like roaches right now. And it's unfortunate that nobody is going in these hoods and snatching them up and saying, yo, let me go talk to somebody who's calling shots. Right? Because if you was calling shots, there was somebody else before you who was calling shots. Right? So it only takes us to take care of us. But yet we're killing each other, right? And nobody is marching for that. Nobody coming through the hood mad until they little mans get killed. Now it's this block against that block when it shouldn't be like that. You could eliminate that. We would be a terror if we got together and we made money together and we claiming these projects and tatting it and they throw your grandmother on her head if you get locked up for a gun. Your grandmother, your mother, she out of the projects, but yet you got the tattoo on your arm, right? So the lost identity is just disheartening because that's what I deal with. I deal with young men that come in my office and they looking at the floor, right? Because one, they don't trust me. They don't trust me yet. So they'll sit there and be like looking at the floor, and I tell them, you know what? We gonna do this every time you come. You want to look at the floor? I'm not gonna say anything. To where it just breaks them like, all right, what do I have to do? I'm like, all you gotta do is tell me about yourself. I
What's
don't
the age bracket?
16 to 24,
Okay.
right? So it doesn't matter what's on paper. You could have banged somebody in the head. You whatever you did. By the time I come to your house, now I know your story. You sleep on the floor, right? So if you sleep on the floor, you barely had a meal last night. When you come in the office, we don't need other officers that I saw address them like, "Yo, young man, pick your pants up." No, say hello because he's a human being, right? So when they stop getting treated like human beings and get treated like animals, then that is what they're going to project. And that is what they're going to do. If you look at me that way, before I got here, my mother probably told me I wasn't going to be shit, right? Or my father's not around, right? So now when I get over here and I'm in trouble, now I got an officer telling me, stand up, sit down, piss over here, go over here. You're gonna go to jail if you pick up a gun. That's not the story. That's not the guidance. Right now, it looks crazy because when I'm sitting there, it's unfortunate that I'm like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Because every time they coming outside, they scared. So when they don't want to do things, I got kids that will call me at 2 o'clock in the morning because it's time to retaliate. It's time for get back, right? So they're like, Miss T, I'm trying to walk a straight path. I don't know how to tell them I can't do this no more. Y'all can't hear me?
Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
no.
Okay.
I was reading the
Oh,
question.
oh. So they don't know how to say I can't do this no more. I'm not in the gang no more. They can't they can't say that. If you ask a kid right now, they be like, yo, I can't say that. I want to. I don't want to do it no more, but I can't. That is for all the kids that's walking out here with no father, with no big brother, with no real OG, right? So I got to tell them, you know what you're going to tell them? Your PO is on her way. They got to get away from your door. Now that's their out. Imagine the kids that don't have an out. Imagine the ones that's sitting there like, damn, I got to go run this drill. I got to go with them. And now half of these kids are coming outside and busting these guns, and they don't even know what they're doing. They shooting from down the block. So mind you, there's somebody grandmother, there's somebody kid getting hit because the guidance is off. And I'm not saying that they supposed to be guided because they need to know how to shoot. But what I am saying is like, where y'all giving the guidance at? Y'all not even giving them the guidance out here to go get they op, or this shit ain't about money. Nobody is telling these kids that, listen, you're going to lose your life for nothing. You got an OG telling a 17-year-old, take this. Don't worry about it because I'm going to send you some Jordans. Take this charge. Hold this gun. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's so sad. And now there's so much trauma because they're not taught to deal with death. When we experienced death, it was our aunt from cancer. It was from old age. They dealing with a 14-year-old friend getting killed. And you telling them to have a heart. Nobody's hugging these kids or telling them they love them, or that's over. So why do I care about your life? Who is going to tell me to care about your life? Nobody care about mine. Nobody didn't care about my best friend. So when they outside and they angry and they mad, it's fuel to the fire because everybody is turning their backs. And if we don't come together as a community and say shit gotta stop, it's not gonna stop. It's only gonna get worse. And I ain't gonna hold you. There are some OGs that's scared of these little ones. That be like, yo, fuck that knucklehead. I am business with them. They never gonna change, right? But they be forgetting that you was them. Like, how are you saying that and you was them? You are this when you look in that young man's face, you was that same person. So how dare you? How dare you, whether you went to jail or whether you've been through it, how dare you say, fuck them? Because you know what's going to happen? Your sister, your daughter, your grandmother going to walk out the building and get hit by that stray bullet for the same little kid that you said, fuck them. They never going to change. You're not giving them a reason to. You're not giving them the proper tools. So right now, we losing. We losing all the way. We losing. They say it's nothing out here. That's a lie. There's money out here, right? And sometimes these men need to walk out and buy these little boys a coat. Because guess what? It's mostly the ones that don't have it that will take your head off. They don't give a shit about this young man that might be in Catholic school standing there with a coat that his mother brought. Why do they care about that? But then you have the same average drug dealer or 9 to 5 getting a couple dollars and know they see you starving and won't buy you a sandwich, won't buy you a $5 hat. And then they want to know why they bugging. Because you don't care no more. You forgot where you came from. So when they get in the cars and buying those bottles, these kids out here starving in a stick-up gang and outside swiping Metro cards, the community forgot. These same OGs forgot where the fuck they came from.
Watch
So
the language.
I'm sorry. So when my kids, and I call them my kids, when my kids come in my office, I do my best to guide them. I let them be themselves. I let them curse. I let them say what they want to say. And then I try to connect with their parents like, listen, please don't preach to them. Don't do that. There is a balance. Yes, you have to be a parent. You can't always be a friend, but you have to find balance and you have to evolve and you have to be in this world. Because if they shot somebody or they robbed somebody, they guess who they need to tell? They need to tell their mother or whoever is close to them, Mommy, this is what I did. I don't know what I did. I'm wrong. I don't know, but I need somebody because they railroading these kids in these jails. But nobody has nobody to confide in or tell or hold them down. So we need more advocacy for free. For free. They need to all the OGs that had lawyers help them and all that type of stuff. Those kids are sitting in there by themselves with the judge. With the judge and the Bronx defenders, like, take that charge. You ain't you this is what you gonna get. And nobody's with them. Not a mother, not an aunt, not a sister. These kids go to court by themselves. And when a judge look up and they don't see nobody with them, they throw the book at them. So it's like for people that's listening, they need to understand that your free time on your hands when you just out, you see somebody in your community, grab them up and hold them down because one life out of 10 is a lot. So if I got 25 on my caseload, I may have two just can't save them, but the rest they fall in line because I tell them I care about them. I call them, yo, you in the house? I heard they were shooting over here. Citizen app said XYZ. Take a picture. Oh, matter of fact, watch this movie. So me and you could talk about it. Right? So they get an understanding of relationship because that's gone. So these young men don't respect these young girls because these young girls forgot their place too. They out here spitting in these men's face, slapping them, inviting them to a penis that they don't have. Right? So they as the respect is all the way gone. I make these young men bring their girlfriends to my office to tell them we don't play cops. We don't play cops if you mad because he was talking to a girl. So now you calling the cops on him and telling them he got a weapon. And now these cops is looking for somebody with a weapon because then there's no home training, there's no guidance, and nobody is giving these kids hope anymore at
Right.
all. So it's just unfortunate. It's just the youth is so lost and they're not guided and they're traumatized. They are losing their friends left and right, and they are told to just get back up and keep going. Can you imagine that? We didn't experience 14, 13 years old and going to a funeral and then getting told wake up and go to school and smile and do what you're supposed to do. Nobody's dealing with it. So as much as we walking around saying, young man, you better do this, you better do that. How you doing? How you feeling? You need a hug because it's serious out here. So a lot of times while these kids is out here moving the way that they move, they hurt. So hurt people hurt people. So it continues to go and go and go and go because we're acting like they not going to funerals, like they not wearing a childhood friend on their neck. Like it's so crazy when you gotta look at your kid and be like, take 13 of those chains off your trophy. I got boys. I hug them every time. I tell them I love them every time they walk out that door. I'm always scared. I don't know if they're gonna walk back home. I'm on their phone, I'm tracking them. I don't sleep till my kids is 19 and 25. And I'll be like, I see you went over you over here. I wish I could do that for 25 probationers because they want that. They could be mad all they want. Yo, mom, I'm over here, all right. They phoned out, they going to somebody else's phone. Mom, I'm over here, I'm okay. But can you imagine that? The mothers that sleepless nights or the ones that already lost their kids. It's crazy out here. And if people don't start having some type of compassion, I was hoping that 2020, although it's been crazy, that opened up some hearts and that opened up some eyes. And that just said people dying alone. These people that was sick was in the hospital by themselves. we have too much family. We have too many friends. We have too many kids that we know that we need to just grab a hold of them and just say I love you sometime. Because love wins. Love trumps everything. You'd be surprised by just asking somebody how you really feeling. Can I help you? It takes you a long, long way. So everybody that's watching, please have a heart. Please stop walking past what you already see that's happening. Because the only people that's going to save us is us. That Black Lives Matter did not come from us. We did not make that. So let's not get jaded by that. We are the only people who can save us. If anybody have questions or whatever, but this is not a job for me. Like you see this that I'm wearing on my arm. This is a nephew, like lost his life. I got more. It's real like
last week I bought my brother from DC,
you.
Larry Moe and Moochie. They lost a son.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? That's on your end. Okay, my bad.
You can hear him, Jocelyn?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
why I can't hear him?
well, okay, hey, but Jocelyn.
Yes.
And Miss T, just so y'all know, you dealing with younger men. You know what I mean? You're dealing with younger men, so you know what I mean. You don't get the aggressive. You know what I mean? Disrespectful. You get the young that you know is just, you know what I mean? Like you said, lost, right?
Right. No, but I'm gonna cut you off. But we deal with the parolees also. So the probationers, I have my hand on them, right? But we have every week, well, not now, but every week we have the parolees come, and they come home. They may not be equipped with technology. They don't know how to do certain things because they're just coming out into the world, right? Right. So, but some of them are coming home angry. Right. So when they sitting across from the probationers, you'll have me in the middle saying, each one teach one, right? We're trying to prevent them from going where you were, right? So when we're trying to do that and trying to help them understand, like, listen, where he's at, he did 18, he did 25 years. They suck. These grown men are sucking their teeth. Man, why the F I gotta be here? What the F this and that? And then I gotta tell them, like, you here because that could be your son.
Well, these are the old dudes you're talking to?
These are the old dudes. These are the old dudes that are angry, right? Because either some of them don't know how to ask for help. Remember we talked about not being able to read, right? So you'll have them sitting there like, y'all got this stuff on the board or y'all passing these papers out and I can't read that. Right? So it's like, I'm mad. I don't want to hear that shit. And I don't care about Ty over here. If he want to do that, that's his MFing business. This is the conversation. I'm right here. Parolees are right here. 30, 40, 50, 60, sucking their teeth. Why am I here for this BS? Then you got the little kids like, see, they don't care about us. These are two sides. This is the future right here. And they looking in the mirror. So it's not that I don't deal with the older population by telling them what they need to do or whatever have you. So my hands are on the younger generation, but I deal with the older population trying to help them understand, like, you may feel helpless right now because you're coming out into this big world and you may be scared. Miss, I ain't scared. I am not scared. I just want to get the F out of here.
Listen. Let me bring some clarity to what you're saying that might help you to understand. I'm in the inside with these men for 26 years. You know what I mean? Now, I went in, I couldn't read or write. Like I said, I was angry too. You know what I mean? I jumped on the police, wound up in ADX, did 5 years on the ground and all that. You know what I mean? So I came in, did my animal years too. But once I got myself together by getting around men, like you said, that pulled me up, that say, yo, youngin, what are you doing? You know what I mean? You know, boom, 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 boom. And they give me the game. So now I got the game. So now I know how to move. Now they throw me back in the system where they got the regular guys that didn't have this 5 years to lay down to learn yourself. You know what I mean? And I come out and they put me in a unit and they got like 180 dudes in there and 8 TVs and you know what I mean? And You know, they playing cards, and it looked like, you know, one big recreation center in the unit that they live in.
Mm-hmm.
This gets to be the pattern every day. You got these few TVs. You got dudes that say every day he's out here watching this. So that means every day this TV is supposed to be on his program because that's what he's watching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he's ready to kill you for that TV. You know what I mean?
But can I say this much? So because I've worked from two sides of the spectrums, from the prisons, and I was a mental therapist, so I worked with kids from 2 to 18.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just first say this. It starts from the home. And when you're not getting it from the home, they go to the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And bigger than that, there's people in the streets, like you said, that's knowledgeable. And this is where it takes a whole village to raise one child. And at the end of the day, as a Black CEO, I am a part of that village.
Mm-hmm.
So when I worked in the prisons with the older men, I used to have conversations with them like, I'm 5'1". You like me telling you when to take a bath, when to take a shower? They have all of these programs in there. Instead of you fighting and arguing, go use those programs. Go use those, because they're taking them out the jails now.
I know.
They don't have those programs. You was able to get your whole master's in jail.
Yeah.
They shutting it down. So instead of you arguing with the next person, because your wife left you, I get it, and I had a lot of that. Miss J, my girl done cheated, she done left, and then I would mess with them like, so what did you do before you went in? I wasn't that good, Miss J. Well, let's be real about it. But while you in here, why don't you take all of that negative energy and let's turn it into a positive energy? So you have to be, you're not there. I mean, they're there to serve and protect, but you're not there to try to overbear them and rule them. You're there to guide them.
Right.
Whether older or younger. I had people I was 60 talking to, like, you want to keep doing this? This is repetitive, systematic. You have children. What are you showing them? Those are the conversations that need to be had.
Right.
Even coming from a younger person. When I was a TR, I was 32 years old.
Hold on. That's basic crap.
It worked for me. I don't know about it being basic crap, but you know what? It's basic crap if you don't want to change your life.
No, that's what I want to get at. I'm gonna take
it's basic crap if you don't want to change.
Listen. Hear me out. When I say that, because I'm giving you from another point of view. You're right, 100%. But what I'm saying is that's 90% of that's about 30-40% of the men that's in there that fit that, like you said, fall into the problems at home. They bitter, the people left them, their friends left, everybody left them. Everybody that, because everybody know deadbeat dudes that didn't do crap when they was on the outside. So then went on the inside, everybody abandoned them, including their mothers. And that's what's happening to a lot of the young guys. I get a lot of young guys coming in, and I couldn't phantom. At this time, I got 22 years in. Right. And I'm meeting young men that's 22 years old. I'm getting visits from my family, you know, my kids, and I'm getting more visits. You know what I mean? From my friends and all that. Right. And I've been locked up 23 years.
Right.
And here's a guy 19, 20. And every weekend he ain't got no visit. No one is coming to see him. And I'm like, what did you do in 19 years to screw off your aunt, your uncle, your niece, all the people that I know loved you growing up? Because that's what we do. We love our nieces and nephews like their own. You know what I mean? And so on and so on. But now the reason why I say that that's basic crap didn't mean it's crap. Mean that's just the basic how dudes y'all know about. Now I'm going to tell you what you saw, but you didn't understand from our point, because you wasn't in this world. Now you picture these dudes, and you're going to be able to tell me who they are that you recognize from whatever jail they was at, because they all over the system. You ready?
But can I say this real quick? But also too, you have to understand, a hard head makes a soft behind. So if you keep bumping your head on that same wall and you're not learning, it becomes nobody's fault but yours. But then again, it doesn't pay to have angry COs and COs that don't really care, because that's a whole different type of ballgame in the business.
We're gonna get to all that. We're gonna let you hear, but I want to take the conversation here. And let's bring in a couple of these brothers here that's gonna help me out. Tell them who you are, big bro. We're gonna get that. Tell them who you are, big bro.
My name is Dior King.
Okay.
Listening. I'm from New York, the Bronx, actually. I'm listening to the ladies talk, and I respect what they're saying.
Exactly.
And honestly, looking at today's world and how it is today, these kids is lost and confused, because individuals say one thing and then your words it doesn't manifest in your actions. And when they look at your actions and as to what you do and as to what you say, it's confusing and it confuses them. So, we have to take as an adult and as an OG, we have to take the time out and study ourselves and what we want to manifest and within ourselves to bring to these kids so these kids can start thinking different. And then the children that's out there that's lost, they lost because they don't know who they are. And we not making it better to help them understand who they are if we're trying to push them to sell our dope or sell our crack or sell our bud or tell them to go rob because you're gonna get a lesser sentence because you still an adolescent. You know what I mean? That's crazy. But for the conscious ones and the ones that say they woke, everybody's consciously saying they woke. I don't know what that is, but if you are woke and your penile gland is open, that means you see the nonsense and you see the bullshit. And if you can stop it, stop it. I mean, as a person who worked in a detox center, who worked in the medical field, still working in the medical field, I done seen kids come in, shot up, stabbed up, sliced across the face, coming into want to be in the gangs because this is what they gotta do as initiation, and they come in there by themselves. No family members that really come in the hospitals with them, and if they do, it's probably mostly mommy because daddy's not around. You understand what I'm saying? So I hear everything that's being said here, and we just gotta reach the youth. We gotta reach the youth, and we gotta reach the OGs that don't understand what's going on either because they're lost too. You know what I mean? Go ahead, bro.
No, that's great. Hold that right there. That's great. I want to bring in all the brothers. I get everybody up here. Get them in. Come on, talk to them. Introduce yourself, big bro. Then I'm gonna bring Haas in so we can get this thing rolling.
Peace, family. Peace, ladies. My name is Octavius, Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, what y'all talking is real deep, man. It's how they say it's real in the field. And if the OGs ain't putting the information out there to educate the youth, then it's a dead end. It's a dead end for the youth, and it ain't necessarily got to be the parents, because the parents can do all they can do. I was a youngin'. We all was youngins at one time, Both my parents was officers, but I knew what's right and wrong. Okay, so I got a different story than what's being said. We can't just blame the parents. We can't just blame the OGs either, because some of us know.
Right.
I like that.
We know. Let me tell you something. The only man without a history, they ain't lived yet. We all got a history. We all got a history. So it comes a time where you got to grow up.
Make a choice.
Break out of that. Now, us, the OGs that's out there doing wrong, like my brother said there, we can't keep lighting the fuse, like sell our crack, sell our weed and whatnot. Yeah, this is an ongoing thing. This is how the process keep going. Everything is a process. When they take our ass to jail, they process us. Everything they do is a process. So in order for us to nip this thing in the bud, I don't know, I'll be a skeleton by then. But it's got to be a process, and it's got to start somewhere. That's why I be here.
Brother Octavius, what you said is history, and coming from an old school.
Big bro, let me bring Big Haas up. Hold that thought. You right now. Let's bring Big Haas in. You know what I mean? So
Brother Haas. Where Brother Haas at?
He coming right now.
Okay. Hey, good evening, everybody.
Hold on.
Big Haas from Harlem.
Josh, could you try and stay still? Because it's kind of.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, sis. Go ahead, Haas. Excuse me, and then we're gonna let the good brother go in. Dior.
Yeah, I'm Hassan from Harlem. And I'm listening to everybody on the panel, and everything. Everyone's input is correct. Everyone's input is correct. But we're looking at it from how it affects individuals. We have to understand what's going on is going on, being repeated throughout all the urban communities in the United States. One time I was on 17th and Erie in Philly, and you know, and some young boys. I was with some young boys. I was with some young boys, 16, 17 years old. You know, and you know, it's the same exact thing. So we have to understand, you know, the system that create these predators to give us the mindset. You know, we didn't create redlining. You know, redliners. You know how they created the. You know,
somebody got their TV on or something, or they radio on because it's double echoing because somebody has something on. It came on when you came up. Oh, that's his mic sounding like that. Because it's like echoing.
I'm hearing you echo now. I'm echoing too.
Yeah. That's on your side. When you came in, get it finished though. I was gonna finish off.
Well, you know, what happens is the situation is like we forget about group homes and foster homes. You know, a lot of these systems, you know what I'm saying, are the reasons why kids don't have families, don't have strong family units. And these help influence the children as well. We're dealing with a systematic thing that's going on in our community. And whenever you have to put a system, some sciences, when you put two things together, have the same outcome. So we got the same outcome in Brownsville. We got the same outcome in Harlem. We got the same outcome in South Philly. We got the same outcome in Southeast Washington, D.C. We got the same outcome in all these communities. So, and it's right, it's going to take us because no one's going to help us better than us. And it's going to take formats like this for us to be able to start creating a dialogue because it seems as if everybody thinks there's nothing wrong. We going about this as if there's nothing wrong. And everything that you say, everything that needs to be said that needs to be done by the OGs, this is what I do on a daily basis. You know what I mean? And you have to walk the walk and talk the talk and walk the walk. But what happens is nobody's really sacrificed. Everybody's, you know, dealing with, you know, their lower nature. So everybody wants to, you know what I'm saying, be rich, you know, everybody's in one of needs. So we forget, you know what I'm saying, that we need the help. You know what I mean? These are our children, you know, as we get older and we want to go to the hospital, we got to go see doctors and dentists and things of that nature. You know, we're not even looking at our own. You know what I mean? We need to make sure that our next generation are the next dentists and the next doctors. But we, you know, so it's going to take us because systematically, you know, in the Maryland exclusion law of Maryland in 1638, it was already documented that we weren't supposed to benefit in what American society is giving us. And so what happens is all we see is the engineering of us and maneuvering through the prison system, the mental health systems, the welfare systems, and you know what I'm saying, we're at the bottom of the barrel each and every position. So we have to start working together. Everything that everyone set up here is valid. We have to start doing this. We have to start taking these kids out to dinner. I remember I took some young men out to dinner. You know why? Just so they can have the experience. You know what I mean? Because they was getting money, but they ain't never been to a restaurant. So I took them out to dinner. You know what I'm saying? And they came back and told me that and now they 25 years old. This is how young they was. They was like, yo, OG, you the hard. You told me the truth. You know what I'm saying? You took us to a restaurant. I told them the truth. I told them about, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we need to do. But we, you know what I'm saying? But we too busy trying to pretend a role to cover up our own insecurities. You know what I mean? And that's the right reason the OGs is not willing to give back. But you know what I'm saying? Then as a people, we trying to get down with another group of people. You know what I'm saying? And we got to start taking care of our own. Because when somebody could come filtering organizations in our community and that falsely represent us and they don't really represent us, and then the masses, you know, follow behind it, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's because we're not controlling our neighborhoods. That's not controlling the thought pattern. And that's because they've seen a weakness in us. They've seen a weakness in us where they're able to manipulate something and able to interject something in our community to control something because they know we want need of it. So what we're doing right now, we taking it back. You know what I'm saying? Each and every one of us, we have the ability to take it back, you know, as an individual. Just like we said, take them out to eat. But if I see them, some of the young kids I teach, I see them, if I see them, they looking back, give them some money. because that's what they need. If you want them to listen longer to you, you know what I mean? Give them some money. You know what I'm saying? Do something. But you know what I'm saying? But don't just sit there and flash on them and show them the car, because just like you said, they gonna be the one who want to bust you upside the head. They gonna be the ones that want to line you up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to spread some love. You know what I mean? And that's what we doing here.
All right, that's what's up. Go ahead, big brother. That's on you, Dio. You take him on.
Yeah, you gotta take me off. How's I'm gonna get at you, brother Octavius? What you said was about history. The thing is, if you don't know history, one will be doomed to repeat it. You have to understand what you do now. You're going to reflect what you do in the future. And a lot of us, like myself, I've been in prison. But when I came out, I had to think different, move different, associate myself with individuals who like-minded as myself. And now, from that time to now, I work in the hospital. So you have to pick and choose your poison. How I said yes. If we don't help change the things that's going on in today's society, it's going to keep repeating itself. But what are we willing to do at this platform right now? What are we willing to do to change what's going on in society today?
Be an example, basically. And the example is lead righteously. Okay, I mean, okay, for example, I done been there. I done been behind the bars. Not prison, but jail, a lot of that. Okay, with my children seeing this. They ain't seen daddy going to jail. You know, they know what was going on. Okay, until my last stint, which almost cost me forever and a day. You know, I sat there and I had a real thought, a process. I was processing, literally sitting there, everything just processing life, because this is what I was facing. I thought about everything, mainly my children. Everything else I had to block out because it would have sent you crazy. I'm watching guys in there going, crying over women and this, that, and the third. My main focus was, how did I get into this? How I'm gonna get out to get back to my children. And not only that, what the hell I'm going to do when I get back out there? Fast forward to today. I made it back out, and enough time to still watch my children graduate, go to college, both boys, 2 more raising up. But my point is, and I have a business, but I came out and I changed. You got to change though. See, that's the thing. That's the lead. And my children see this. Fuck talking. We can talk all day. They see this is what they react off of. See, that's what I idolize. I didn't idolize my mother, my father, or my uncles and all of them doing the right thing, officers, civil servant jobs and whatnot. I didn't idolize that. I idolized the dude on the corner with the pack. He was the one that had the power to be like, yo, shorty, get the hell out of here. Go to school. Boom, boom, boom. That's who got the power over the youngins in the street.
Why is that?
I mean,
because they make like it's glorified. They glorify.
I mean, we all have idols.
Okay.
We all.
Okay. Now, that's right.
Gravitate.
That's glorified, but I want y'all to understand that I can answer that question because it was limited things, to attract from my era. Because we didn't have the social media, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have the PlayStation, we didn't have PlayStation 7, 8, all that stuff. But like you said, they looked up to us at the point. You understand? And that's why I can probably happily say I can bring 10, 20 men from my neighborhood, other neighborhoods that I went in, that have approached me to get drugs from me because they was effed up, as they said. You know what I mean? But I wasn't one effed to bring it to my world. You understand what I'm saying?
But you see what my brother just did? That's how we all get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? Literally, just by words. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people ain't even got to do this. This is what my brother said. That's a hitter. That knock your whole face when he's like, what we gonna do about it? What we gonna do about it? Nobody got an answer for that.
Exactly. So what we got to do is start living. We have to start living by example.
But
we have to show them that one way is not going to always be the right way.
No, but that's the point that I'm making. They came to me and they said this. I didn't give them drugs to sell. You know what I mean? I said, yo, go on in the Mecca and clean the windows in the Mecca. You understand what I'm saying? Go sweep in front of the Mecca. I need to run the store, give me 2 drugs. You understand what I'm saying? I gave them something to do that I didn't need them to do, so they wouldn't think that I was just giving them a handout. You understand what I'm saying? And I gave them 10 or 20 hours to make that round. They was ecstatic. But it took out their mind. They wanted blah, blah, blah. Now when they say, damn, you nigga, I want to be like you when I grow up. You know what I mean? Be like, man, I don't want to be like you when I grow up. You know what I mean? I laughed with him. I said, dog, you know that I haven't
We need something. We need something.
Let me finish.
Pardon, not to cut you off. My bad, bro.
I'm gonna get you though, you know. But like I said, I tell them how screwed up my life is. Well, I let them know that I can't even go to Thanksgiving dinner because I can't go to my own family's house because I don't know who gonna watch me to know where I live at because my status is too high. Anyone I have to stay away from. So I don't have Thanksgiving dinners. I don't have Christmases. This is my first Christmas tree and my first Thanksgiving tree in 26 years and my first Thanksgiving in about 40 years. Because I've never celebrated Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving I've always fast or been on the street and didn't have a family to come home to. You understand? And everybody that knew me still had a family because my family was tight. But they wasn't tight with me. But I didn't on the street that I wasn't going to pull the other man's child to come into my world to come do this foolery that I chose to do. You know what I mean? Because those are my choices. So like I said, and I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring some brothers on here that used to come to me because their children were shooting. And they came to me and say, you need me to shoot somewhere? You need me to take some drugs somewhere? You need me to work this? I need to get some money. My son's birthday. You know what I mean? It's my daughter's birthday, and I don't even have nothing to buy for their birthday. You know what I mean? And watch the store for me real quick while I move. And then I give them $200. You understand what I'm saying? But I never gave them drugs, and I'm going to bring them on there so y'all can tune in when you see the children of the fathers that I looked out for to keep them away from the drugs in the street. So everybody wasn't trying to bring them on the street, because when they came up, the heroin dealers, they wasn't into that. You understand? The heroin dealers would tell us, yo, that's wrong, don't do that. Go ahead, man. My bad.
So back to it also goes back to us knowing who we really are.
I hear a lot of echo
as black people. Yeah, I've been hearing it all the time, even me. Should I come out and come back in?
Turn the mic down a little bit if you can, but you sound good enough for me.
Okay. It also goes back to us knowing who we are as a people. There's a law that actually states that we're not human, or almost or partially human. If we don't even know who we are as a people, we're definitely going to continue to struggle. Definitely. So it's bigger than this.
Let me say this, because I want your opinion, because you said you worked in the prison. This is what I started earlier before I started being the other men. I want the other brothers that have been in prison too to give their assessment on my analysis. This is Unique's analysis on how I interpreted many of the brothers that did time around me that I'm sure the CO probably didn't know. You know what I mean? But the brothers over here that been in prison, I'm quite sure y'all recognize these type of men. Now, I come into prison, I couldn't read or write. Nobody said, come on over here, let's go do this, let's go to GED, let's go to school. Nobody told me that. You know what I mean? So instead, you know, I had a girl come on and visit, bring me some weed, started selling some weed in the joint. You know what I mean? I start doing me and I'm running around and I'm acting like I'm still on the street. After I screwed up, went to ADX, met the brother that I said, you know, taught me that it's best to get my education and be prepared, because you never know if one day they might release me out of here and I don't want to walk out and not have anything to bring out there to be able to survive any tools. You understand what I'm saying? So I got my GED, started taking psychology classes, you know what I mean? Then since then I became a certified plumber, certified electrician, certified HVAC and refrigeration specialist, electrician, a mechanic, a culinary arts cook, a surf safe, you understand? And a certified mentor and a suicide prevention specialist. I did all that in prison. And when I walked in these European prison, I couldn't read or write. You know what I mean? But I got with men that told me right from wrong and how to survive in there.
And it was also because you were ready to change. See, I was wait. I was one of those CEOs that I said that earlier. I was one of those CEOs when I seen, I don't care how old you was, get out of trouble, use these programs, use what you can. This is one of those times where you have to use what they have in order for you to get ahead so that you can come out with something. But now if I'm here and I'm giving you the tools and I would come when they would give me information, I would come. Listen, this class is here. They're showing you how to make airplane parts. They had a program in it called Corecraft. They were making our uniforms, plane parts, everything. They're paying you 22 cents, but guess what? You're learning something different. You'll learn how to build an airplane by the time you get out of there, depending on how long you in there. Utilize your time wisely. You think other CEOs was running around doing that? Hell no. Okay. They could care less. I cared because I was raised differently.
Let me go on to where I was at. I'm glad you said that. Now, I learned all that, like you said, in their different factories that they had. I'm a certified seamstress too. I know how to make my own Gucci and Fendi from scratch. Yes. You know what I mean? I learned that from them. And I used to buy it from Gucci and Fendi, you know? But now let me get into it. Now, that's what I chose to do, you know what I mean, to get myself right. But as I'm doing that, I'm seeing homies while I'm going out the unit, you know, to go to school, to take these little classes to further myself. I'm seeing homies, they sitting early morning from they open the door, and y'all brothers can't tell me y'all ain't seen this. Them sitting right there in front of ESPN and they ticket in their hand.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean?
They play cards all day, play basketball all day.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. But they sitting there with their ticket in their hand. A ticket is a gambling ticket. You know what I mean? And they worried about what the scores is to see if they hit a ticket. You know what I mean?
I used to sell them.
All right, you know, look, so now you got the dudes that go to work in the kitchen, go to work in the law library, go to work in CMS, to go be a plumber, go fix the electrician and all that, and they go fix certain people's cells. They make a couple of books of stamps, a couple of stamps or whatever, and they come back end of the day and they go take a shower and then they fill out their tickets. You know what I mean? And then they go back at night and they start watching a football game until the joint go off, or the basketball, football. You know what I mean? And
that's the prison lotto. That's the prison lotto.
Now, brothers, I'm gonna wake y'all up to something that I noticed, that I'm sure y'all noticed too, but might not have stopped to think about it. You know what I mean? These brothers would sit there and do this every day, like one of the brothers said in the thing, like Groundhog Day. You know what I mean? Every day they do the same routine. Before you know, 10 years go by, they only know what happened. And they still looking at that ticket.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So much law came out that could have got them home. You know what I mean? There are people right in the unit with them is going home on certain laws that would have helped them. But they sitting there looking at the ticket in the football game and the baseball game and the Super Bowl. I haven't, and I'm not proud of it, I haven't watched not one finals in basketball, football, baseball, Super Bowl, none of that in 26 years. I haven't watched not one. I don't knock nobody that did it. You know what I mean? But my thing was, I'm doing life. These dudes is getting paid millions to run up and down these court, man, and on this field. They get millions. And I'm sitting in a cage. And then Tuesday night, they smacking up their girl in the elevator. They carrying a gun in the club. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, why am I going to watch a bunch of fools, man? and think I'm anything other than a fool. I'm just me. You know what I mean? They get a chance of a lifetime to get their life right. And you know what I mean? And every chance they get, they put they not only they freedom, but other people's lives in jeopardy. You got your chance. They never realized that. So I couldn't bring myself to sitting there watching these young boys. And that's what I call them, young boys. Because they grab them right out of high school, fresh out of college, and throw 100 million in their hands, and nobody taught them how to be a man. Nobody taught them anything about finances. You know what I mean? So they just as dumb as I was when I was out there. You know what I mean? Except they're young enough to keep running up on the full court to say, yes, sir, boss, yes, sir, master. But I brought that up to say that dudes let years, decades go by doing the same thing over and over again, man. And before you know it, that 30-year sentence is over. And the only thing he could answer is who pinky is hurt and can't throw the football on Sunday. He don't even know who's the president. He don't know who's in the Senate. He don't know the reason of the Senate, the House. He don't know nothing about voting. He don't even have nothing to give his grandkids that he's now going home to. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, go ahead, Big Ons.
You know, that's the situation where even out here, all our men are concerned about the basketball games. They're concerned about the sports. You know what I mean? But what happens is they don't know what the GDP is. They don't know what the three branches of government is. They don't even know the functionality of government. And these are much of the things that they need to be involved with. They don't know why they're unemployed. Like the woman said, Corecraft. We have to understand something. Corecraft works in the prison. You know what I'm saying? They create everything.
That's unicorn in the feds. So y'all
it's unicorn, exactly. Unicorn in the feds. They make lights. They make the lights for the cars and everything. They make everything. All right. So what happens? This is an industry. This is free labor. How do we make sure that we keep this free labor? By giving them a poor education, by making sure that they don't know who they are, family, the peoples are. And the thing about it, we have to reach back. I remember God bless the dead, is a man named Dr. Joseph Ben-Yakin. Dr. Joseph Ben-Yakin taught all of the he taught Malcolm X. He taught John Henrik Clark. He went to Egypt and all this, right? So what happened was I'm studying and I'm learning. I changed my life. So I found out this man lived in my aunt's building in Atlantic Service. So I walked up to the man. I said, you know, he was 90 years old now. He couldn't understand it. I said, Dr. Ben, I said, why you ain't come talk to us? Because we from 132nd and Madison. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing but gang, you know, with young brothers that was ready, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of us gave up our lives for nothing. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? So I said, why you ain't come tell us? Why you ain't come tell us? You've been to Egypt, you've been to all these places, you lectured and all this, so all these people. He couldn't answer me. So the thing about it was, I said, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring it to the young brothers. You know what I'm saying? However, you know what I'm saying? Because what happens is we got to make being smart fly. We got to make being intelligent fly. You know what I'm saying? I can sit here look like this, but I can use words like insalubrious means unhealthy. Deleterious means unhealthy. Trepidation, which means fear. You know what I'm saying? Intrepid, which means fearless. You know what I'm saying? Sagacious will mean shrewd. You know what I'm saying? We have to be, you know what I'm saying? And this doesn't come from my college education. This comes from my correctional college education. You know what I'm saying? Because when I was in there, I decided to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to outsmart people. But guess who I learned I wanted to do something from? I wanted to do something from Don King. Because what happened was he used to pop all this stuff with the words, and then I found out he was really using real words. So you know what I'm saying? Between him and Malcolm X, I'm gonna read this dictionary, and I'm gonna put myself in a better position. And one thing that happened was because I had a deputy warden talk to me like I was a nothing. You know what I'm saying? I had never had somebody talk to me like I wasn't nothing before, and I couldn't do something about it. And he said, jump bad. He said, do something. He said, I press this button, they're gonna toss you up. I said, you know what? I will never have someone talk to me in that manner again, and never have, because why? I know how to use my words. I know you was like capricious, nefarious, you know what I mean? So what happens is, and I know how to use them well, and I know how to flip back and forth. Go ahead, I was about to say something.
What I want.
Can you hear me? I can't. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, baby.
We can hear you.
Can't hear you.
Yeah.
Keep jumping on. He muted. He mute. Okay.
I'm mute.
The mute button. Y'all can hear me now.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Me and Crumb was kind of talking about that's. See, when what you just said, you know, them words you need to compete with the Europeans. Okay. Yeah. See, the thing is, when you go to day college, the only thing going to college is
Exactly.
following basic instructions, just like the
Exactly.
Bible. That's college for you. So see, that's why we get beat up. You understand? Because like you said, them words you use, and we don't have no understanding of them. So they can use them and belittle us, and we, okay,
Exactly.
like rub it off like it ain't nothing. But that's only for us to compete with them. If you want to go back, we wasn't using words like that. We only got to learn that now. Like you said, Malcolm X studied the dictionary, just so he can go at him. But he was talking to his people in another language.
Exactly.
Keeping it simple. So learning them big words, to me, I want to know who I am. First off, that's first and foremost. And no, and it ain't too many big words gonna explain who I am, because I know who I am.
Hold on for a second. Those
We
are
are
big
the creator.
words. See, that's the problem. See, what happens is that they flip it. They flip it when they want to use the language. They not big words.
I understand.
They not big words at all.
You're right. That's why. See, one side. See, and then go and another thing I want to build off of. When I got myself out of trouble, sitting there, and I'm watching the youngins don't take shit. Pardon me, my bad. They don't take things serious. When I was in there fighting for my life, I was watching other young boys facing mad time. They're coming there, they playing around. A week before they trial or whatever, they'll open that Bible up.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I see them, after they go to court and come back, they sling the Bible across the pod. Mad. Oh, what you done got? Homeboy done got 99 years. He said I like 99 years. But my thing is, I watched him play the whole time, and a week before he called the dude that be in there studying the Bible the whole time, he called him, yo, I want you to help me study this Bible. I got to go to court next week and trial. He come and he blows it. The thing is, he ain't take nothing serious.
Exactly.
Okay. So when I went in there, I was in there for a week before I knew I got to take this serious. I got to take it serious, man. This is my life. I sat down, deposition, case law. I had them all laid out in front of me, and that's what I did. And like you said, what I didn't know, Haas, these words, I had to go research, study, go in the and I had to know what this is, because this is my life I'm talking about.
That's right.
All right. We got to take things serious. We ain't taking nothing serious because we done been through so much, and so much done happened to us. We don't take nothing at all serious, even down to when we get caged, and it's ways out. It's ways out, but we playing. We not serious. You know, from day one, I went in there playing for the first 5. Then I said, this is serious. From then on, even when the CO came to cut my light out at night, he looking there, on the top bed. I got everything out. I got the Quran out. I got the Bible out. I got my case paper out. I got every book you name out. And like my brother there said, I ain't know much before I went there. 22 months. I came out of there with an education. The lawyer looked at me, my lawyer, a public defender, okay? Looked at me, he said, yo, how many years you did in college? I said, none. I did 22 months here. Because I'm the one that wrote that case out and gave it to him. I couldn't do that before I went there. Because I knew it was serious. And up until that point right there, Haas, because you know, it got serious to me. Life got serious to me. But, and guess what? I'm back there with the craziest of the crazies. I ain't with them general pop dudes that's gonna only get about 4 or 5 years, even 20 years. I'm back there with the guys that got 20 that's coming back on a pill and things like that with double bodies. That's who I'm back there with. I was where they saying if I blew trial, it wasn't no parole officer or probation officer for me to come home to. to talk to. So I was in there for life. So this game I was playing, it was serious. And so and me in there with these young boys, other young boys watching them play like this was a playground. And it's the same way on the streets. We don't take nothing serious, family. That's why we getting beat. And we always worry about what the Europeans doing. Sorry, I don't mean to sound radical or racist or whatever, but this is
not at all. Not at all.
Speaking facts.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yes, we're in the competition. The competition is to see if we're gonna make it out of this okay.
Alive. Not okay. Alive. So they play when I'm alive.
Exactly.
Let's be real about it. There ain't no future in fronting. That's why we here.
And just like I told them,
this is about the future. This ain't everybody that's fronting now. It is showing the future. What's up?
And like you said, everybody too busy playing, but they not playing with us.
That's right.
They not playing with us. We jumping rope and double dutch. They're not playing with us.
It's not a game.
They're not. They're not. They dead serious.
We the party people. They on a mission.
Right, this government dead serious.
You know what I mean?
Right, but
and we can do it. And we can do it. Because I've been a knucklehead for 20 something odd years. Here it is. I'm at this age. And you know, and I ain't get to this age by being stupid. Because I'm still alive and I'm talking to y'all. So I didn't get to this age by being stupid. Because a lot of people I know died at 18, 22, and things like that. So I can tell you some real things. And you ain't got to be a pussy. You ain't a part of my words, you know, but you ain't got to be a coward or anything to be like, you know what? You right. I'll give you that. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with giving life.
Right.
That's what we're doing here.
Nobody's doing that though. Nobody's telling them you're not a coward for this. Like even though I'm a woman, so even if I'm telling them you're not a coward, it's not resonating because I'm not a man, right? I mostly have male under me, right? So when they go on and they go to jail playing, they don't have value. They don't feel like they have anything to lose, right? So you made a choice. Right, the same way I grew up. My father did 7 years of my first life. Like we being born, going to the prison to see him. I had my kids at 17 years old. No more school. So I was 30. Where I went and got my GED, my bachelor's and my master's. Right? But I did that at 30. I had to make a decision. And it's just unfortunate that we had our chances, right? We had things to lose, and we saw value in ourselves, but we saw like we don't want this. I could have been a lot of the girls from the block that's still on the block. I could have made that choice. Right? The difference is the kids that I'm talking to, they don't have value. Some of them want to go to jail. Some of them, they feel like their bros are going to take care of them. Some of them feel more safe in jail. You got to hear that. So when I started earlier about when they want to get out and they don't feel they have a choice, they might be on probation for 2 years, 3 years. They like, oh, Miss T, at my door. That's the craziest thing to ever hear. They whispering, they at my door, they want me to come outside. 19 years old, right? With no identity. They're not gonna walk to the door and say, I'm not coming outside. They gotta make up something to say, I can't do this. Right? So every day that they're making a decision and they fall right line. They don't have anybody to mirror. So sometimes it's too late for them to get it. Like you said, they wait a week and in the Bible, or it's not clicking. It's not clicking. Because while they doing that, they having fun. For whatever reason, whatever they finding in there, I got one in there right now. He like, yo, I feel safe in here. That breaks my heart, right? But what am I going to say? Because when he was home, he's not safe. Either the DTs is running him down, or the whoever from across the street is running him down, or when he going to the train station, he getting ran down. You a young boy trying to be a man, and people are chasing you, right? So I could tell him all day, you put yourself in that situation. You got to do this. You got to make a choice. They like, where, miss? In this jungle? You a woman later. Like, I thank you for loving me. Thank you for supporting me and guiding me. But when they leave my office, it stops right there. So we're talking about the people that's coming across me. It's a 1%. That's 1%. 25 kids sitting there. And I got 27-year-olds, 28-year-olds that's having kids and like, yo, miss, I can't do this no more. But they made it to 27 and 28. I'm talking about the 13 and the 12 and the 14 that does not have that mirror. So when they go up top, or when they go to jail and they sitting there, it's still not going to click. They didn't have value while they was out here. They don't really have value in there. Time is going by so fast. They know everybody. They think this is play time. And then nobody advocating for them. So now the judge is scaring them, and the defenders, whatever. My mind is all over the place right now because it's really sad. And we talking like you said, we talking, but if this platform doesn't say, well, you know, it's the pandemic or whatever, but in February we need to do this, or we need to get together and do this. This is all this will be, is a platform of everybody talking about their experiences. It has to go further than this because we're not the only one doing these platforms. We're not the only one talking about our lives. We're not the only one saying the do's and the don'ts. We're not the only one saying what's right and what's wrong, right? So if it does not leave from here, if we are not communicating with each other and saying it starts right here, it starts right here.
I got a question. Hold up. How do let's hear it from the ladies. All of y'all. How have the prison system helped in one sense, but failed inmates in another sense? I say helped in one sense because it made billions of dollars. It's a $1 billion industry. You know what I mean? So it's definitely working in that sense. But how has it failed the inmates to y'all?
How has it helped the prison or the people? Who did it help?
Okay, we know it helped. It helped the public and the taxpayers. You know what I mean? Because it's a $1 billion business. It's on Wall Street. You can buy stock in the prison system. You know what I mean? So it helped in that sense to juice the economy. You know what I mean? But how have it failed the inmates?
Well, can I say this? I've known a lot of people, and not for nothing, it's sad to say, but it took prison to save their lives. They was running amok, doing all type of crazy things, and prison is what made them say, all right, I see this is a different type of ball game. Because I know a lot of people who, if it wasn't for prison, they wouldn't have had a second, a third, a fourth, or for the chance. Now, is that the way you want to go? No. But if it was meant for you to wake up, if that's what it took to wake you up, then I thank God for that.
I agree with you.
I thank God for that. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, even though I don't work in the prisons, but I still do stuff with them. And I also send books like this, The Color of Law, the things that they need to know about stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I know a lot of people at prison where it actually stopped them and said, you know what, this ain't it for me. Like, it's got to be another way. And I don't want to say that it wasn't people out there helping or teaching, but if you wasn't listening and you wanted to do your own thing, and that was the wake up call for you, and that's when you heard everybody telling you what you wasn't paying attention to, absolutely, and it helped you to be a better person, then so be it. Not every, the thing is this, because there's negative situations, that doesn't mean that positive don't come out of it. A lot of negative situations is where you see growth.
That's true.
Is where you see that positivity. If everything was so easy and this, that, and the third, then nobody would be in these predicaments now. I've seen a lot of growth come from a lot of inmates. I keep in touch with a lot of people. People took that, went to school. Now they're helping other people. So it's not always the worst thing in the world.
I agree.
I
It's
agree.
just that the system is just so tainted, and
There you go. The system is tainted.
It's not rehabilitation. They're not rehabilitation.
Right.
Okay, we got that. We know it's positive. We know prison is positive because it helped me. It helped our brother Octavius. You know what I mean? It helped a few of us. Helped brother Hassan. So we know that. But let the people know how you feel it failed them because you're on the inside. We know it helped because look at us three good men sitting up here, came from prison that couldn't do what we're doing today.
Well, you know what? I've also seen a lot.
Hold on. I just want the people to hear all sides. That's why I'm saying.
Okay, no problem.
All sides, yes. Okay. No, go ahead. I want you to finish.
And how it felt, people.
Yeah.
Because I've seen and known people that were innocent and were there. You failed them.
There you go. Talk to them.
You failed them. I've watched people go to the law library and they spent their days, nights, trying to prove themselves to get out of jail, and it worked for a couple of people. How do you convict somebody of a crime that they didn't do, and all the evidence say that it's not done, that they didn't do it, and now they're in jail for that? So yeah, that's definitely one way that they failed them.
That's the
definitely.
It's good you said that, Octavius. We're gonna get you right now, but it's good. It's good you said that, sister, because there's a show that I started watching 2 weeks ago. It's only the third episode coming on Sunday, speaking on just that, called Honor, HONOR, where it's a white dude that's a judge, real caring judge, looks out for everybody, and,
right?
And it's a gang lord, a white dude like an Italian running everything in the town, and he gives his son a nice old-fashioned motorcycle, an antique joint, son like 17, 16. And his son go riding, and the judge's son is driving an old beat-up Volvo and drops his asthma pump, reaches down to pick it up, and runs the kid over and knocks him off the motorcycle, kills him, busts his head up, and the 17-year-old is dead. So the father, who's the judge, the son left the scene of the crime and went home and then told the father. So the father had to go turn him in. When the father went to turn him in and he went to the police station, he found out that it was this killer kingpin, John Gotti dude, son that he killed. So he runs back out of there. You know what I mean? So now his son was getting ready to come in when he told his son, man, get in the car. You don't know what you did. We got to never let nobody know this. So now the judge, who's supposed to have honor, is hiding his son from this hit and run of this dude thing. You understand what I'm saying? And the joint is just badass because as you're watching it, it goes into what you're saying, where I don't want to give them too much in case y'all want to go watch it. I know I describe it good as heck. But anyway, you know what I mean? The joint, I'm going to tell you anyway because it's only the second episode because this joint's so good. But now, but look, so dude go and the white dude want to get his son off the issue, want to get his son off the case. So the white dude called this black dude, that older dude, that got connections on the street, 3-piece suit, just know everybody. So he calls the street level, get the little corner, Unique or Hassan or Octavius, you know what I mean? Or Dior from back in the day, and tell us that we need you to get somebody, you know what I mean, to drive this stolen car so we can report the car stolen and charge him with the murder, you know what I mean? So that, you know what I mean, we can make sure that you stay out here and you ain't got to tell on as many people as you've been telling and you safe for a minute, as long as you help us, by getting one of your people to go to jail for this murder, because we got to hide the fact of who really did it. You know what I mean? So it's this young black dude that wanted to get down with the gang, wanted to get down with the crew, and he runs up on the crew, and they say, man, I got a mission for you. And so I just need to pick this car up. The keys is under the tire of the car. Go get the car and drop it off over here. You want to get down? That's all I need you to do. So as he go pick the car up, drive the 3 police, pull him over, catch him in the car, beat him up and charge him with the murder. You know what I mean? Everybody involved in the court system know that boy didn't commit the murder. But they all trying to look out for this judge who they owe a favor to. But they letting this black boy go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a lot.
It's people being innocent. That's real life that they sat and took into that. Now go ahead and finish that up. I know
it's a lot of that, and it's a lot of, especially of our color, that aren't even capable, autistic, they're not capable of committing these crimes.
Mm-hmm.
that are there. They can't speak up for themselves. Like Miss T said, they don't have nobody to vouch for them, to go to court for them, to show them that support. What happens? They take the fall. They can't defend themselves. And we all know if you get a lawyer that works for the system, they work for them. They're not here to help you. They here to do exactly what they need to do. Get you locked up.
Yeah.
It's one big system. I used to tell the kids that I used to work with in NYCC, it's a mental health hospital. There was their hospital, then there was Bronx State. That's the adult hospital. I said, listen, you'll be here, then you'll go to your Bronx State. And when they get finished with you there, you keep acting up, you'll go to Rikers. And from Rikers to State, it'll be an ongoing cycle. They built it like this because that's what they wanted. That was the plan from day one for us. That was the plan. And we keep falling right into it. And at this point, we don't really have nothing left but unity. Unity and knowledge. Those are the two main things we got left.
All right. Come on, Hassan. Let's hear you. Go ahead, baby. We need you. Unmute Hassan real quick. Bong bong. Let's get him on mute. All
right. Images shape our reality. You know, so what happens is that, you know, the fact that like what Octavia said about, you know, what the young men about how they see themselves. See, we as a group of people, we don't see ourselves as being powerful. You know what I mean? But why? Is because we don't know our history. So being, you know what I'm saying? So subconsciously we want to get connected or close to the dominant culture. We want to be their lap dogs. We want to be their puppy. You know what I'm saying? We want to be as good as long as we with them. You know what I mean? And they got us in an environment, you know what I'm saying, where we can't cooperate with ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We can't cooperate with each other so that we can progress. You know what I mean? So the problem is this, you know what I'm saying? We have to understand that Carter G. Woodson wrote in 1933, he said that, you know, I'll control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. So in 2002, let's go back to 2002. 2002, the AFL-CIO, and NCLU, they had a study. It said Manhattan's 100 Center Street brings 90,000 people in the jail every day on an annual basis. So they have 90,000 people running in and out of 100 Center Street. We got 5 boroughs in New York City. So if one borough is running 90,000 people in it, that's almost like 3,000 people a day, because it's only 365 days in a year. So we have to understand that this is a business and they don't care. You know what I'm saying? We are the unprotected. You know what I'm saying? We're not protecting enough. Yes, in every group of people, you know what I'm saying, there's going to be people with autism, there's going to be people with all type of issues. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see the jails filled with Chinese. You don't see the jails filled with the other groups of people, because what happens is they're using our people to fund this system. And the fact that we're not working together, the fact that the church organizations, community organizations are not working together. What happens when we send our kids to these programs, it's all about numbers. It's all about numbers and funding. We're not actually working, actually physically working and touching these kids and touching these people and touching how we really need to do, how we really need to. So what happens is that they look at the whole system as a con game. They look at the whole thing as a hustle. And every now and then when they come and meet a Miss Johnson or meet a Miss T or meet somebody like us, what happens is that's outside the norm, because the norm is dysfunction. The norm is dysfunction. We got to understand what we showing our kids every day. They see the video. It's the guy in the car. He argued with his girl. He going to the party. He had a bunch of women. This is what they want to be. If I was a young brother, it would impress me. So what happens is that, you know what I'm saying? So this is why all of them want to be involved with that. All of them want to be rappers. We got possible engineers, possible scientists. We got possible all these things that they could be, but all they want to be rappers because of want of pardon, because want of need. And what happens is we have to start creating a need in our, well, just like Ms. T said, what jobs are we creating? We work for these organizations. What jobs are we creating in our community? What are we doing? We showing them party and BS on Friday. We showing them pop chandeliers on the bottles, with the sprinkly things on the bottles. You know what I'm saying? All our kids want to get drunk. You know what I mean? So what happens is we have to show them better. We have to show them better, and it's a failure on us. You know, just like a generation failed us prior to us. But we have to understand the modality that has us dysfunctional. because we're living in dysfunction, because we don't know our history. We don't know where we come from. We don't know that we created science. We don't even understand that the English language comes from the Egyptian language. And I didn't say that. Gerald Massey said that. You know what I'm saying? We don't understand that the original people of Britain come from Egypt, the Queen of Scotia. So what happens when Brother Dion said we don't know our history? No, we don't know our history, because if you knew that English came from the Egyptians, if you knew that the Scotland was settled by black people, when we watched the movie Braveheart, we watched them talk about the extermination of black people. They were called the Picts. They were called the Gypsies. They were called Saracens. You understand? We only know about the Moors, but what happens is there's so much more that we need to know about. We need, you know what I'm saying? And once we start knowing about that, then we have a reference point. Then we have a reference point to say that we come from something great. That, you know what I'm saying, that we come from something great, but we have no reference point and we have no connection to the past. We have to understand even the word nigger. It came from the word naga. It came, and the naga was the people, the spiritual people that taught Buddha. You know what I'm saying? The word Negus is the original name of Haile Selassie, Rastafari. Haile Selassie's original name is Negus. Where it's at the beginning of his name, Haile Selassie is Negus. Negus means ruler of Ethiopia, sovereign Pontiff of Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? That's who Haile Selassie was. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, and his name was Rastafari Haile Selassie. You know what I'm saying? And Marcus Garvey was the one who said, look to Africa for your next prince when they incarcerated him. You follow what I'm saying? He said, look to Africa for your next prince. And what happened was, when Haile Selassie was coronated as the king of Ethiopia, that's when everybody, you know what I'm saying, realized, you know what I'm saying, realized what Marcus Garvey spoke as in terms came to fruition. So this is the things that we have to know and to educating our kids, and we have to make it important. Our kids want to be heard. Our kids want to be known. But if they don't respect the people that were known before them, how is somebody going to respect you? How is Hazel Scott? Hazel Scott was Adam Clayton Powell's wife. Hazel Scott was the first Oprah, was the first Beyonce, was the first all of these people, but we don't know her name. So this is a problem. So, you know what I'm saying? And this is an entertainer, the so-called thing that we like to do, entertain. So what happens is, if you don't even know who Hazel Scott is, what happens is it's a crime in our community. And this is the things that we have to do. We have to start stressing the importance of our history and what we as a culture, and also community responsibility. Because we have to start exercising community responsibility. You know what I'm saying? We have to start making it out. We have respecting our women and our children, because we the only culture. We the only group of people out here, you know what I'm saying, where the young people is growing up hating the elders. You know what I'm saying? They're growing up hating the elders because we're not respecting them as children. We're not respecting them as children. We see them with their mothers. We're not giving them a respect. We see them, you know what I'm saying? We see them in the community. We're not giving them no respect. So when it comes back to them giving us respect, they don't have any. You know what I'm saying? Because they said, you didn't give me any. You know what I mean? And it comes out on the subconscious. So we have to start eradicating the root of the problem. We have too many charlatans, pretenders of being black leaders in our community, but you have no connection in the community. If you're a black leader in the community, you should be able to go to your neighborhood. We should see in your neighborhood. Why is it do? And where are all the elders at? We're the elders that made you the black leader. We're the elders that groomed you. So we have a bunch of front men. We have a bunch of con men. And what happens is we know nothing about eugenics. Eugenics is the very same reason they're trying to make sure that we don't procreate, that we don't produce more children, or that we don't produce black. When the last time you seen a chocolate baby? When the last time in our community we have seen a chocolate baby? So that means to show you that we diluting our population. You know what I'm saying? And that's the destruction of our nation.
All right. Miss T.
Yes.
Yeah, you said you had something to do. You was ready to go, right? We've been on here long enough.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fully understandable. You gave us more than enough jewels and knowledge of the day, and we really appreciate you. But
yes, indeed.
We're gonna hold Jocelyn down. She'll be safe.
Bye, beautiful. Bye, Miss T.
Be safe with gentlemen.
Jocelyn, have a good night. Have a good night.
Good night, Miss T. Appreciate you, Miss T. God bless you. Appreciate you.
T, have a good night.
Stay safe.
Miss T.
Do something past us, yes?
Jocelyn called you beautiful. It wasn't a problem. But when I said Jocelyn was beautiful, that was a problem.
No, because you said you was gonna. Wait, Josh, I got you. You was gonna introduce her.
You ain't gotta explain that. I'm not teasing you. Come on, you ain't gotta say nothing.
All right, good night, beautiful, and good night, fellas.
Good night, Miss
All
Beautiful.
right.
Beautiful. All right.
Good night.
Yeah. Hey, but there was a good question up there that the brother John Jones asked that I want to get back to right here. Because there's some real joint that I know you know about, Jocelyn, as well. I know we know about it, but it never affected us. Go ahead, big brother Octavius. But look at that question, Jocelyn. You're going to answer that when he's finished. Go ahead, Octavius. Excuse me.
No, my thing is, when was the system ever a success? Period. You know,
No, it's just,
it was built for a reason.
To us, but the system is a success.
It was never meant to be a success. It was meant to that what they say is for rehabilitation, but we knew it was built for modern slavery to recapture us.
What
That's
happened
what it
is,
really.
what happened is after 67, when we got the right to vote and everything else came into place, you understand what I'm saying? Then that's where everything got all, oh man, we got to do something to curb the population. So then they came up with having to put something out there that would bait us to go into it that we couldn't refuse. So when we was at our worst time coming off the heroin era, they brought us over into the crack era. So now they don't put that out there, and then now they make mandatory minimum that if you get caught with this much, you get 20 years. You understand? But if you get caught with this much, you know what I mean? And they get probation. You know what I'm saying? So the mandatory minimum is what helped to build that.
But
you understand what I'm saying? So now we got to give modern,
that stems from
birth control. Unique got 7 kids. He only 20-something years old. Only way to put his nuts off is to lock his black ass up. You know what I mean? So that was a part of the plan. You know, the modern day castration of the black family by putting in jail, and then, like Haas said, mixing it with the other races to dilute it. That's why you black babies that the good brother talking about. We're gonna get more of that on Sunday gospel talk, but we're gonna keep going on here on prison talk. Now they got all that going on, so now they look and they say, damn, we can make some money off them. You know what I mean? They don't want to work on the street. So we build more prisons, make more factories, lock up more of them that don't want to work, that ain't a part of society anyway, and we make them a part of this new society, and we give them 22 cents an hour.
And be satisfied with it. And be satisfied with it. You know what I mean? I remember I used to see them going to work and be looking at them like they crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wipe this window in this dorm and get my little you know what I mean?
Don't joke, because I want Octavia to speak now and tell me what you think about what I'm saying. You know, let me just say this. Now I know brothers that used to get up 3 o'clock in the morning in the feds. 3 o'clock every morning. They got up to go to work. And didn't stop until like 3 in the afternoon or after 4 o'clock count, let's say 5:36. So they go to jail, they go to work from 3 in the morning to like 5 in the afternoon. You know
That's a fact.
And they get $17 a month. $17 a month to wake up every night at 3:30 to go to the kitchen.
Sharecropping.
You know what I mean? And hang out in the whatever, and don't go back to the unit. Got to do whatever these Europeans in the kitchen tell them to do for 14 hours. No,
I guess that's half of a slave, because you getting some. They ain't get what they ain't give the slaves nothing.
No, but the point I'm making, so let's take it somewhere else. I'm gonna get
that's crazy.
So now let's take it somewhere else. Now that same person get released, and his girl tell him, baby, they got a job over at McDonald's and one down the street, the gas station. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna need some help with the bills. I'm glad you home, baby. You don't know. I feel so much better. We can feed little Tommy now. And he said, baby, I can't work for no minimum wage. I can't wait. But I look like work for minimum wage. Nigga, wasn't you just working for $7? Now you can't work for minimum wage. Y'all tell me I'm lying. Somebody speak up. Y'all can dispute me.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? I'm gonna quote a great philosopher right now, and my man Ak know him. All right? I'm gonna quote the great Dre the Boss. Dre the Boss said, we locked up out here. The projects is the housing unit. Lennox Avenue is the commissary. You know what I mean? And out here, you gotta pay for yourself.
Yeah.
See, the difference with out here, you got to pay for yourself. And according to how much money you make, according to how nice your cell is. You know what I'm saying? You know, some brothers put the rubber, put the blanket on the set on the floor, make a carpet. You know what I'm saying? Put the little pictures on the wall, whatever the case may be. But out here, you know what I'm saying? Because we 35 hours at a job, 35 hours at a job. We live for 2 days a week. You know what I mean? So what happens is they really got us in modern day slavery now, just like the brothers with the from three in the morning to 4 to count time. So what happens is we on a false reality to think that we really living, because really living is doing what you want to do. Really living is being free. Really living is saying your grandmother's in South Carolina and I can just jump on a plane and go see it because I want to. Not saying, oh, I got bills to pay and I can't do this, that, and the other, and I got to make certain allowances. You know what I mean? So we not really living. We fake living. You know what I'm saying? And it's that facade that we putting up that prevents us from really trying to create institutions, really trying to be better, because we putting up this front. You know what I'm saying? But if we really start looking at our conditions and start saying, yo, you know what? This ain't really fitting right. This ain't really good. I went from the bottom of social service to the top of social service. And I saw, you know what? All this social service is bogus. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is that, you know what? The real thing is the freedom to do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, I said, you know, this is the method. This is the way. I changed my life. I got my life together. I said, I'm going to get into these organizations, this, that, and the other. And then I said, oh, man, this is just a numbers game. Oh, they're not trying to help nobody. You follow what I'm saying?
By your logic,
you know,
we all, when Dre said that, really he was saying we all institutionalized. Really?
Right. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what we got to understand. What happens is that just like I was speaking earlier, we said, well, how you, if the CEOs is back there with us, you follow what I'm saying, that they locked up too. But when you get out here, you still not free because you can only go as far as your Metro card. You know what I'm saying? You can only go as far, you know, as far as your living conditions. And we living in substandard conditions. We living in Trenchtown, in Harlem, in the South Bronx, and South Jamaica, and Brownsville, Bushwick. We living in because why? We got 9 people living in a 2-bedroom apartment. People sleeping right by the door. You follow what I'm saying? People is under the conditions that they, and the only thing we can do is try to dress it up and put on nice clothes and put on this, that, and the other. But we really living in dilapidated conditions. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start working on this mind, because what happens is that even Carter G. Woodson in 1933 said, the black youth, the untrained black youth, they don't think about nothing but taking a moonshining, gambling, and they want fornicating and smoking is great diversions. So what happens is that we in 2020 is still seeing the same exact things. Our children is, you know what I'm saying, they want to be racketeering and crime, and they use smoking and drinking, smoking and having sex as diversions. So we got to give them a go. Just like we said, they see themselves as not being nothing because they don't respect who we've become. And that's the truth. If they respect who we've become, they be trying to work with to be us.
Real spit.
You know what I mean? So we got to show them a better example. It's time. The time is now. You know what I'm saying? Because the reason why they want to go to jail, because other platforms like this, they promote, oh, come home and be, you know, everybody going to celebrate you for being a drug dealer. Everybody going to this, that, and the other. You going to be an Instagram page. You going to see a so Instagram page as a drug dealer. But guess what ends up happening? Nobody's listening to those guys anymore. Half those guys is washed up. You know what the saddest thing, and Miss Johnson, you probably seen this. A father and son in prison together. You know what I'm saying? That's the saddest thing in the world. A father and son in prison together, and they didn't meet until they got into the joint. You know what I mean? And then what's even worse about it, they not even tight. They walking in 2 different worlds. You see what I'm saying? So this is the thing about it. This is what we see in the breakdown of our families. This is when we see, you know what I'm saying, that prison has a direct effect on how our community is operating. Until we understand that prison, because as young people, right?
But
God, Ms. Johnson, you want to say something?
You know, I was just saying, but they walking in 2 different worlds because he was never present in that boy's life in the first place. That's why they walking in 2 different worlds. I think the father is scared of the rejection. The younger one is like, F you. You ain't been there all this time. This is how we meet.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like that.
It could have also come from the father.
And it is that.
no training or know-how to raise them. That's
It's
it's a
generational.
cycle.
Right.
But Booker T. Washington said this, right? There's going to have to be a generation that's to wear overalls so that we can have the next generation wear tuxedos. See, we're being too selfish as a people. You know what I mean? Just like you said, those little children are us. They us. You know what I mean? They us. And so when we have to reach back, we can't let them go, because what happens is the fact that we not stepping up for them, the fact that now we not reaching out to them, the fact that we not showing them the real rules of the game. This is why they reinterpreted it. You know what I'm saying? Everything is being is a rap. Let me sing it. Let me tell it. You know what I'm saying? What's the motto? Silence go with violence, right? Silence go with violence. You follow what I'm saying? What's the motto, baby? So I'm saying, so what happens is that these, you know what I'm saying, we're not condoning violence. We're not condoning violence. But when you choose that life, when you in that life, you know what I'm saying, you accept everything that come with it, the highs and the lows. That's what come with it. You don't start switching up and start saying, I need to cooperate, I need to work with the prosecutor, I need to do this and that. No, you sit down and you do your time. You sit down and you shut up. You see what I'm saying?
That's been
Because
the
you
problem.
decided to make this decision.
That's been the problem with us. No accountability.
Exactly.
So incorporate into our street life, where as soon as we get in trouble, no accountability. Hey, Bob over there, you understand?
But exactly.
You understand? And that's because they didn't have grandma and grandpa telling them, get your ass in here, boy. You didn't hear nothing, you didn't see nothing. That's where it started from.
Right.
You didn't hear nothing, you didn't see nothing. Bow, 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 in Brooklyn, in Bushwick. Bow, bow, bow.
Right.
Miss Stewart, call us in it. Boy, you didn't see nothing, you didn't hear nothing.
Okay.
That's where it was starting now. Now, right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm gonna leave y'all to be the judge for that. You know what I'm saying? One thing, I was brought up in a family that's basically a radical. You know, they dealt with the you know, the Liberation Army and all them. So I was taught never to hurt the hard-working person or mess with the hard-working person. I came up under the guys that they going to any drug dealers, number runners, anything illegal, they went after. That's how I came up. You do not hurt the hard-working 9 to 5 or nothing.
The civilians, leave the civilians alone. Alone.
Everything else, what happened is, all that done went to hell. All that done went to hell. You know? So we even at a even more of a loss, because we destroy our own. Black Lives Matter. And there's all this other, you know.
But here's
now I'll be the one, if I didn't have nothing going for myself, I'll be the one around here. It's a good message. Black Lives Matter, it do. You understand? But to go tear some shit down, Black Lives Matter, I feel a way. You know why? Because I built a business. And for somebody to come tear my shit up under a cause of black people getting killed, and you gonna come tear up this black man business, how much do Black Lives matter? We being killed. We being killed. My bad. I ain't mean to curse, but we being killed, and what we create is being destroyed. We just losing on all angles. It's damn if you do, damn if you don't.
All right, y'all. Big Op. I'm gonna bring the good brother Ja in, Ja Jones. We're gonna get him to sum up what he been seeing. He's like our Jerry Springer to cap things up. All right, Josh. All right. So the good brother, he gonna come in and cap it what he got from everything we've done today. He gonna sum it up because you know he one of us good, intelligent brothers, so he get long-winded too. You know what I mean?
Like hard.
So we gonna bring Big Ja Jones in all the way from BT. All
right. Ja, what up, baby?
Peace, Haas. Peace, everybody. Peace, sister.
Hello.
Peace, Unique. Good to meet all y'all. Good to be here. So I just been listening.
Some of this whole
I just been listening.
I know that's why I want
I just been listening and watching all sides, and what I've really been seeing is that it doesn't matter on both sides. We lost, bro, because we're not looking at the adverse effects of slavery across the line, and individuals that are working for the system. Sister, this is not personal. I respect you from the heart, for real, but it's not just the families, it's not just the gangs, it's the socioeconomics, it's the whole culture that is flipped upon itself, allowing us to sit there and not understand the financial backing that we have as a people, with all the money we spend on this, Jordans and all that could be brought back into the community. But at the same time, history constantly destroys anything we build for ourselves. Every community of Black wealth has been destroyed. Every community. And through slavery, we learned not to say nothing. And then there's been groups that said, okay, some are going to be held down, but I need to get up. So we're forgetting each other. So we're working for systems and saying, I got to pay my bills, but I see this young brother in there getting mistreated, but hey, he committed a crime. My punishment is my time, not to be suffered, not to be mistreated by COs. Like this, listen, I went to jail at 16. I was in Cat Saki, and in Cat Saki, white officers, Black babies hanging from trees on or at tattoo. No Black officer sitting there saying, hey, yo, what the heck is this? Because y'all getting paid. So now y'all got to be a part of the system. So I got to get my paycheck. You know what I'm saying? I can't ruffle it up because y'all are still the minority in there, even working in there. So my major point is that on every level, we can't forget who we are. And we can't forget to look out for the next one. I'm done.
Real
all
spit.
right. You know what? And that's a fact. That's why we have to create institutions. Yes, there's going to be people with mental illness. Yes, there's going to be people where they with deficits, cognitive deficits. You know what I mean? Yes, it's going to be handicapped people, but we have to create our own institutions. You see, every other group of people have their own institutions. You know what I mean? I don't have to name them. We already know what they are, who they are. You know what I mean?
But that's why
we got the NAACP, and we don't really. It wasn't even backed by us. And I'm not hating on the Caucasians that came aboard and tried to do something. But the structure still has to be focused on us. It's our plight.
We don't have no right. You're right. We don't have no organization of our own.
This is what it is. Sorry, the NAACP was started by a white woman named Mary White Ovington.
I just said that.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? The other one, the Urban League, was started by some Caucasian people. Even the frats were all started around. They were all started in the beginning turn of the 20th century, 1909, 1904, and even the beginning of the fraternities. They only wanted the light-skinned people. They only wanted the ones that could pass. So that's why the later frats and sororities came along, because you know what I'm saying. What happens is when they play with our community, they put us in different income brackets because they know once we're in different income brackets. We can't relate. You understand what I'm saying? So this has been another device or tool that they've done and put us in different income brackets. So now, because we all relate through economics, we all relate through our experiences. So what happens is that if our experiences, you know what I'm saying, if my experiences are here and your experiences are over here, we can't connect. So this has been another manner in which they've been able to separate the Black community with unbeknownst to them. See, we're creatures of conditioned reflex. We angry when we see ourselves. This is self-hate. We angry when we see each other all day. We can be angry when we see each other all day. But as soon as we hear those sirens, woo, woo, woo. As soon as we see the lights, doo, doo, doo. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, we're not angry anymore. You know what I mean? So what happens is that we got to understand what's going on in this subconscious. Brown versus Board of Education, they did the black and white dog test. And they knew in 55 that subconsciously that we, you know what I'm saying, that we wanted, you know what I'm saying, that we felt dominated by the dominant culture. They did this test about 15 years ago. And
they did it back when they gave us the rights. Back when they did desegregation. Part of desegregation was that whole which doll you gonna pick. All the black kids picked the white doll.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
see what happens is that. Go ahead.
All right,
go ahead, Bill, brother.
In a project, right? You going into the staircase, right? How many steps in a regular staircase walking up a flight? Just a flight of steps. How many steps are there? How many steps are there about?
Was it 13?
From the first step to
10?
You know, huh?
10, 13, something like that.
I'd say about 14. So what's the
10,
first
13.
step?
It's like 10, 13. It's like 10 to 13.
Okay.
You're right.
On that one flight, on that one flight. We ain't even on the first step.
Right.
True.
So where do we start?
Right.
Let's start there. Let's talk about that.
And that's the point. That's the point. This is a start. This is a new start.
Yeah.
This is a new start. This is a new start.
Exactly.
All right. So let's not play games.
One at a time.
This is the new start. We got this sister here. We got this sister here who worked in the system. All right. We have us brothers who've been in the system. This is the point. This is the time when we need to unite. And it's not to sit there and say we need to but we need to not forget each other, bro. We need to stop forgetting each other. And something to Unique said. Unique mentioned heroin, right? Who remembers Mayor Lindsay back in the days? Who told them, don't arrest them, let the heroin go. He told them, don't arrest them for selling. Dog, this was systematic, bro. And we all know it. We all know it. So let's build this system to start educating each other. Like we all know, every one of us got a point. Let's bring them together. Let's stop fighting and saying, oh, she worked in the corrections. She did this. You did. Nah, let's bring it together, bro. Let's work together.
And here's the thing. They got this thing that came out. The ejection. We need to stick together like that.
Yeah,
we don't want to. Blacks don't want to take it, and they sticking together.
They shouldn't want to take it. They shouldn't want to take it.
We need.
That's the whole other topic, but they shouldn't want to take it.
That's the start.
And just to address, brother, one of the reasons why I left the prison system because of the politics.
There we go. I respect that. No,
I started doing things in a better way. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not a correction officer anymore.
My sister, I never came at you or in any way. I'm just saying we need. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying we need to come together.
Hold up, let me speak. I want to hear her speak.
No, I'm just saying, like, listen, I take nothing personal. Trust me, nothing. So one of the reasons why I left because I felt like I wasn't being heard, and I wanted to help in different ways. So I hit the streets. That like now, if I go to people's homes, I feed, I help. Like I said, I deliver books, I do other things, take kids in. So there's other ways that you can do things. And like I said, I don't look at it like as every CO is a bad person or they wasn't trying to help, but they block you from helping. If you help, you're an inmate lover, but it shouldn't stop you from helping.
Talk about it. Tell them that.
It shouldn't stop you from helping because they will call you an inmate lover. I love my black people. That's what they called me.
Talk about it. That's what we need to hear.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because
it's an inmate level I was an inmate level because I love my people. My mother's Muslim. Of course I love my people. You know
what that was code for though? You know what that was code for?
I mean,
you already know what it was code for. You know what it's code for already. It's the N-word lover.
Yeah, of course. Well, in my NWA voice, and I'm a nigga, he's a nigga. Well, that's what it was for me. When you like to be a too.
Jocelyn. Let me ask you a question now.
Yes.
You get from what the good brothers were saying, and I'm asking this because you worked on the other side. These are things that we picked up, and where our mind frame and our conversations was at while we was on the inside. Was you blessed to get any of these jewels that you hear these brothers sharing tonight in the last 20 minutes?
Yes.
You was working in the system.
Yes.
Well, break down what you got. Anything, not even
From listening to you guys.
No, from what you got on your own before these guys. I know.
Well, but see, here's the thing. Every black man in prison is not ignorant, and I've heard a lot of people that think just like you guys, which was awesome to me.
No, I know that, but the reason why.
What is the question? I'm sorry, maybe I'm missing the question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you on point. No, what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to get at is, you worked as a CO in there. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, very few COs, mainly female COs, just because I wanted to talk to a woman, got a chance to enter a little bit into my mind to get some of what they just gave you. So what I'm asking you is, was you able to get into the mind of the other good men that allowed you, from what they just gave you? And if so, could you give us something different than what they gave us just now, my brothers here, that you got?
Well, they gave a lot. We'll be here all night if I gave y'all something like different. I mean, we'll build it. That's a whole other conversation.
No, but I was asking that because.
Let me tell you something. I've ran into the most beautiful, intelligent brothers in there. Couldn't wait for them to get out to be a beautiful product of this world. And a lot of them came out and did beautiful things. And did beautiful things. Beautiful things. And I admire the change. I admire the moving forward while you're in there. I admire that because not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that in that predicament. It's like I said, it's a zoo in there. It doesn't go down every day, but when it goes down, it goes down. It is a zoo.
That shit like a weather. That shit like a weather. That's like a weather joint coming through. You be like, whoa, what?
1 minute is this, and the next minute it's just a whole different ball game. So yes, all across the board, and it was more of the ones that weren't on their level is the ones that I wanted to work with, and I would encourage the ones that were on you guys' level to work with them, and don't be so impatient because you wasn't always there at that time either.
You're right.
We had to work it through with you,
sister. I met Unique helped me at one point.
Wow,
when I first came in the system. When I first got in the system, I was wilding. Right. You know what I mean? I was in my 20s. They gave me, listen, I did 12 and a half years and I ain't even sell no drugs in the case that I was involved in. Not to say I wasn't doing wrong, but in the case that I was involved in, I sold no drugs. 12 and a half years. That's how I met Unique. I was mad. People got on the stand, pointed the finger at me. It was Khalid Muhammad. It was that brother. I was what the heck? For real. And then when I got in there, I was mad. I was mad as hell. You know what I mean? But my situation was a little different because I was locked up in a predominantly Caucasian state. My case was out of Vermont. I was extradited from Queens, brought to Vermont, held up here. I'm dealing with the racism inside from the people up here. You know what I mean? That's locked up because ignorance exists inside the jail on all levels, even compounded, whether you're Caucasian, whether you're Spanish, whether you're Asian. The ignorance level does rise to a certain level because everybody's not trying to be a thinker. You have to realize you have those that were thinkers out there and were moving the chess pieces, right? Me personally, anybody that I know that ever got locked up for anything I did, I paid for their lawyers. I'm still setting out commissary to this day for my soldiers because I came from another generation, though. And that's not to say what I was doing, it was right. It's not to say that what I was doing was right, but still it was principalities in this stuff. And I live by the rules. People can say there are no rules. Bull crap. Majority of the rules, they in the movies. And you've been watching the movies for how long?
You already
know there's rules to this joint. Let's stop playing.
There's written rules, there's unsaid rules, there's two sets of rules.
We all know it. We all know it. So let's not play games. But I'm still saying the role I played in hurting my community, I was wrong.
Yes, sir.
I admit that. I admit that. Right. I admit that wholeheartedly. And I apologize to anybody that I hurt through any of my childish activities. You know what I'm saying? I want that to be understood.
That's called taking accountability.
Of course, but that's what is lacking. And what it's lacking on so many sides, though. It's lacking on so many sides, man. I mean, telling you, there's so many dimensions in this stuff. And it takes us to have these conversations to stir up the thoughts in other people and be honest. Like, yo, selling drugs ain't the way, bro, because the only thing you're doing is hurting people to look just like you. And even if you're hurting somebody that don't look like you, it ain't right
hurting somebody.
to corrupt somebody's life and distort their life,
You
even if they
you
want it.
destroying families. You're murdering families.
Educate us
Okay,
on how it's
You're destroying families.
We can't separate the fact that at the same time, this brought economic freedom to certain people. But again, I left a comment, right? Most people on the block, if you doing 60-40, 70-30, dude, you working a minimum wage job, bro. You just don't understand that.
Okay, I read that was you. Okay.
That's what you really do.
You know what?
That's what you
a
really
brother
do.
wrote a book named Stephen Levitt called Freakonomics, and he said exactly the same thing. It's called Freakonomics by Stephen Levitt, and he said that the young drug dealers are putting more hours in on the corner, and the pay that they getting is less than working in McDonald's.
Minimum wage.
Yeah,
100%.
Less than minimum wage.
And you putting your life, and you putting your life on the line for it.
And that's what needs to be understood.
And you putting your life on the line for it.
But see, here's the crazy. I own my own trucking business. Okay.
Nice.
That's what my father did. That's my father. My father was a trucker. He did the same thing, bro. Congratulations, man. Keep it going, bro.
Amen.
Own authority and everything. Not just got a truck and I got a truck in another company. No, I got my whole thing. Okay.
My pops had the same thing.
Absolutely.
But see, I noticed, you know, a lot of us, when it comes legally, when it comes to doing something legal, you talk to somebody about it, they fear in doing it, you should listen to it. You be like, hold on, that's your fear of doing something legal versus you out here doing something illegal. So you ain't got no problem with watching for the cops, watching for the stick-up kids, watching for all this other shit. But
you'll have more people trying to talk you out of it.
You worrying about if I take this $1,000, this $1,500 that you gonna take and go get a 62 with, and use it to go get me a pass to sell things on, to sell pencils or whatever. That's $50, or to go get your authority, pay to get your authority. Some of these things you don't got to pay. If you're educated, you can do it. If you know how to fill out forms and whatnot, you can do it without spending money. But to cut the corners, it take money. So you $1,500 out of your pocket, $1,500 out of your pocket to start you a business or towards your business will be a risk. This is what you're gonna listen to. This is what you're gonna listen to.
That's all
you're gonna listen to. But what you're gonna listen to, because he'll take that same $1,500 and go buy a 6 deuce with it.
And
He'll take that same $1,500, that same $1,500 and go buy a 6 deuce with it. Okay, but and I'm talking about back in the days. But when you tell them that same $1,500, go do this legal right here. I got this. Oh, if I do this and blah blah blah, it don't work out. My kids and this. Now you thinking about your kids. Now you thinking about your kids. You thinking about you spend that $1,500 on something legal.
Right.
You go and it don't work out. It's gonna affect your kids and this, that, and third. Nigga, you ain't worrying about pardon me. Okay. You got it, but you ain't worrying about
that's that passion.
You ain't worrying about the police. See, this is what I had to realize. This is what I had to realize moving forward, opening up my business.
But see, they accept that, bro. They accept that already. It's written in the cards, bro. You gotta understand, bro. I've been doing time since I was 16, bro. I ain't gonna lie to nobody up here. I did 20 years altogether. I did 12 and a half, right? All right, so when I first went in, you know what I'm saying? It was some bull. I messed up. I ain't gonna lie. I was dead wrong, right? For what I did, right? But I was trying to fit in. And that's what enough people ain't gonna say. Dog, it's all right not to fit in with the wrong crowd, bro. It's all right not to think, dog,
no matter
if you see everybody around you going to jail, bro, it's okay not to accept that reality and say, nah, I'm gonna go work at Mickey D's, bro. Because, dog, when I got out after doing 12 and a half, I worked at Wendy's. I've worked at grocery stores. But the thing is, sister, is that By the time I learned it, I got tired of it. It's not. No, I got used to going to jail. I got used to it.
Like it was a second home.
Afraid no more. I wasn't afraid no more. It was like, okay, I'm gonna go see my homies. You see what I'm saying? Because I knew how to survive in there, and that's the problem.
Sad.
We have to work this. We have to work within the system to break that within the system. And if the system ain't doing it, we need to do it. We need
Absolutely.
Listen, I got two jail counselors. I got 2 jail counselors that I'm still in contact with right now. You know what?
Nice.
Because they told me while I was doing what I was doing, you ain't coming back. We don't think you coming back. You know what I'm saying? We believe in you. You know what I'm saying? I needed to hear that from, this was a Dominican cat when I was in Pullman, and an oldest sister that was my counselor in the joint, right? And I needed to hear that. But at the same time, you got to realize, I've been told this from my family also. But at the same time, I already got accustomed to living a certain lifestyle.
Right. And the thing is, so even as being, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want you to add on.
Even, you know, being a CEO and trying to be the most positive you can be, I would argue with other CEOs because they're our color and telling y'all, I'll see you back next month. What the fuck is you doing?
Exactly.
Why are you telling them that?
Exactly.
Your job is not, why are you, no, because he's going to be back next month. Me almost like, shut up. Like, it was like getting like, like, what are you doing? I find myself getting irate, pressure going up, because this is what you're telling my people?
Thank you. Thank you.
Where's the encouragement? Where's the encouragement? No, the words you should be saying is, I don't want to see you come back here. If you come back here, don't come check. If you come back here, don't come checking for me. I ain't got nothing for you. Don't ask for no favors. Don't do nothing. Stay out. Just stay out. You have all the tools that you need. Stay out. Don't tell these brothers and these sisters, because I work both. I'll see you in 2 months.
Real quick. Brothers, start a business. That same energy you got into, that same energy y'all got into getting that pack. Believe me, it's just as easy and just as better.
Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail out of business.
I know.
And be happy to throw away your life. That's the message.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid to start a business, but be happy to throw away your life.
Exactly. Amen.
Everybody deserves a second chance, a third chance. You deserve to do it until you get it right.
You right?
Do it until you get it right. That's it. Eventually you will. If it's in you to do it until you get it right. Y'all got this. I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all got this. Do it until you get it right. You will get it right. You're getting it right now.
Everybody.
And there you have to fail. Most millionaires they failed a million times. That's why they're a millionaire now.
And here's the thing. If you ever put a puzzle together, you can mess that puzzle up. But if you put it together the first time, the second time gonna be easy. The reason why I'm saying that is because my business, I took and wrecked it. Okay, I had it for a year and turned my truck over. The first thing I thought is, oh man, my business. But guess what? It was so easy for me to put it back together because I already knew what to do.
Exactly.
I already knew. At the same time, the consequences was just a loss of money, though, not a loss of years of your life.
Right.
Years of your life.
Correct.
You can always get money back.
Exactly.
Correct.
That money always gonna come back, bro.
That time you can never get that back.
Trust me, I know dudes that run scams all day and get money. They be falling down, get a check, do this, get a check. There's other ways to do it, bro.
My thing, but the smart man, if you can accomplish that and come off, do something with the money. Do something with it. Life ain't about a pair of Jordans and fresh pants and this, that, and the third. See, to me, money is digital. And I use it as a tool. See, money is a tool to me today.
That's what it's supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Trust me, family. I can pull out a brick of money, but what's the front for? What's the front for? What I'm showing you this pile of money for? If I ain't got an agenda on why I'm showing you this pile of money, and
if you don't have an agenda, you're looking to get robbed.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Or I'm trying to promote some bogus bull crap with this money because I ain't gotta show you all this money to prove. Listen to what I'm telling you. Listen to what I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, I want to ask you this before we go, because we've been on here a minute, but I want to hear this.
I was getting ready to say I'm out of here. I love y'all, but I'm out of here. But go ahead, do your thing. I'm here.
I got a load to take to Tallahassee, so I gotta get a little bit of rest.
But let me ask you this: the trials and tribulations that you have seen women go through in prison versus men. What are the different things that you've seen the women go through versus men doing time?
Well, first, like to sum that up, women, which you all, everybody know, we have a biological thing that's called menstruation. So when we get that, that's one problem. They're children. They have children. I worked in prisons and didn't see nobody. Let me tell you something. I worked in Bedford Hills on Christmas Eve and saw 3 people come and visit.
Two
inmates.
Tell them how many inmates.
2 inmates, 3 people. In a male prison?
No, how much in the population, sis?
Excuse me?
How many female inmates was in that prison?
I want to say in Bedford Hills at the time, maybe 1,300, 1,400.
And only 2 people came.
Two inmates.
Yeah.
3 visitors. Christmas Eve. But in the male's prison, you got women fighting to get there. It's crazy. And I would watch these women break down. Like, I have so many stories about that it's crazy. Just talking to a female inmate, her family turned their back on her because she walked into a room and saw her sister's husband molesting her 2-year-old daughter. She's doing 25 years for that. Sad stuff, and nobody came to visit, won't help. They don't get commissary, nothing. They're blessed. They're blessed. There was one man that I don't know what this lady did, but he stood by her side. Like, I would want to cry every time I see him because I know that she would be happy. They don't have it easy. They don't have it easy. The grandmothers, the aunts, they don't bring their kids to see them. It's a lot. And it stresses them out mentally. They fight more than the men do. They go at it more than the men do. More than the men do. I mean,
I know that. Yeah, they started the razors underneath the nails and burning.
They might have been the cause of all of that.
I know them girls
they might have been the starters of all of that, because the things that they have to endure, like not seeing their children or being pregnant in jail, and then as soon as they come from the hospital, if they don't make it to this program, their children are being taken from their arms.
They yank them. Yep.
And if you don't have a grandmother, an aunt, an older sister, brother, right from their arms and right into the system.
They're gone. Yeah.
Gone. When I say gone, gone.
Sister, that's part of the problem, because those children, some of these children that are out now, that the system, once they turn 18, kick them out.
That's
part of the problem.
And that too.
Let me tell you something. Can I say something right quick?
Yes,
there was a movie called Rabbit Proof Fence, and it was talking about the child removal services in Australia. And what happened, with the Aboriginal people of Australia, because the Australians are originally black, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So what happens is this child removal services was part of the reason why the original Australioid is no longer around today. But you know what I'm saying? The Tasmanian, the rest of these people are no longer around today. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is when we watch these child removal services in the United States, we watch them grab our children, we watch them separate families, and this is the mini series to the big series, which is the prison. You know what I'm saying? These foster kids and these group homes and these family courts, these are the
It was all designed this way, though. All designed this way. This is all a part of the plan. The entire situation was all a part of the plan. Back to them giving us welfare, women welfare. That's all a part of division. Oh, I got money. I don't need you. Now there's no such thing of loving your black man and being submissive and I don't need you. You go ahead. What is this? I don't need you. Oh, I need a man. I need a black man. I want one, but I definitely need one.
All right, right on point. Listen, I'm glad you said that Friday night. We got grown folk. You talk enough shit to be on there.
I'll be there.
Get on that shit.
On Friday night, we're going to end this so we can run it back. But we're going to bring you on Friday grown folks talk so you can.
Good night, Kings.
Hey, hold on.
Good night, peace, Jocelyn.
What I'm inviting you to do is, hold up, Jocelyn. What I'm inviting you to do is wear your prison uniform.
Hell no.
What
the hell just happened here? Like,
I don't know.
Bring the handcuffs because we having grown folks talk on Friday.
I'll be there.
Performing some stories.
Sign me up.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Salute.
All right, y'all.
Salute. Peace.
Enjoy your night and be safe out there.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet y'all too. A pleasure.
God bless you, baby.
Appreciate y'all, Kings. I appreciate and I'm proud of y'all. Y'all make us proud of y'all. Y'all really do. Y'all got my vote.
we here to make a change, man. We here to make a change.
That's what it's about. I ain't mad at you. I'm with y'all. I stand right behind y'all.
All right. I'll tell you what's up. You want two now?
Excuse you?
No, I'll tell you this. It must be mute. Hold on.
Bone though.
No, go ahead.
We need our backbone. The women is our backbone. We need
the
that.
woman has always been. The woman has always been the man. Listen.
Don't get a head souped up and do some crap.
Nah,
oh, look. Don't start this like you like to talk smack. You ain't ready for the smack I gotta offer. This is some serious. You don't want to really talk smack.
Jocelyn, he's the cocky kingpin. He's the cocky kingpin.
The woman is necessary, but still.
Yes, sir.
But second, he hitting that man. He hitting that man.
Listen. I ain't finna entertain him right now.
That's what grown folks talk.
Because you're gonna answer that on grown folks talk.
We listen. We can get into some gangster on Friday.
All right.
Have a good night, fellas.
Peace and love, family.
Peace all.
Good night. Peace.
Mecca Audio crew signing off.
Peace.